flashes on Jenny. They've got the paranoia on side. All of the pieces of utility you would make a mid-round play with are available to EDG, but they're choosing to just hold in this 4-on-5 and hope that the operator can find some success.
तो मेरी फेवरेट है भाई मोबाइल लेजेंड्स से.
Burning away on the side for utility. Kangung's already going to be repositioned. The one way has been popped. Time starts to run low here. You see the spike is on the A side of the map, so that is going to be where
देखना इनके पास. अपन इतना भर के एल्डर फ्लेम चलाते हैं लोग देख.
Or the finish. And a late smoke could cause some problems.
तू कौन सा देख रहा है रे?
Commit now 30 seconds left to play through. A well-timed paranoia as well. Crazy guy. Let's just boost up the team with the ball. They're not getting in on the site just yet. They need to walk through cat or somewhere. Things are just looking so difficult. Finally, the sign as we roll through. It's all RQ so far. One in response, and Kang by his lonesome. He doesn't have a lot of money. What else can he do here?
क्या लग 10 सेकंड में हुआ.
That's a really well constructed split there from RQ. Taking their time, baiting out those last couple of pieces of utility from EDG. Wall up over the dark cover in A main.
अबे नहीं मजा आएगा ब्रो. कल देखा मैं उसको. अपर ब्रेकर देख रहा हूँ.
RQ giving time for both
ए भाई 3 लोग देख रहे हो, प्लीज लाइक कर दो. परसों ही देखा था ना, हो गया EDG. नया वाला अपर ब्रेकर देख रहे जो हार है.
इधर भी 3 देख रहे हो.
Much more in control of this game of Ascent compared to the game that they
हार
had.
गया.
जेनकिन भाई जलवा दिखाओ.
Necessarily a good feel for the timing and the mid rounding that 100
नई वाली बस शहरी भी ज्यादा चल रही है. शहरी प्ले रहे.
It actually feels like they're much more familiar with the timings and what EDG want to be.
भाई ऑफ से कर रहा है वो.
Maybe it's just composition.
देख रहा है ट्रैप और अपना ऑपरेटर साला पिक करता है.
EDG have completely changed their approach coming into this particular match. It's completely different comp to what they played against PBL.
भाई 5 लोग देख रहे हो, प्लीज लाइक कर दो जल्दी
Credit to RRQ. It looks like they're
और
much
सपोर्ट
more
को
kind
बताओ
of
कौन
switched
सी
on
टीम
today,
जीतेगी.
kicking off this attacking side.
EDG.
Credit to the players coming through from shot
100
as well.
thieves.
Really
PBL का बच्चा
मजा नहीं आ रहा भाई.
certainly running out. That could have gone.
ये अलग दिख रहा है ना हरामखोर.
हाँ ना.
एक काम कर साले तू ये पार्टी में बैठ, मैं नीचे जाता हूँ.
Actually fired a shot either.
साला जब जो देखना था वो नहीं देखता है.
अबे ये मेन है भाई. अपर मेजॉरिटी नहीं, मेन जो ये वो देखने का.
It's likely they suspected.
अपर ब्रेकर देखने की तो जो हार गई ये टीम उसका देख रही है.
लग गए इसके. ओह भाई. अरे भाई
6 लोग देख रहे हो, प्लीज लाइक कर दो जल्दी.
Has to be said. Nobody trying to get out of dodge. It's a nice off-angle timing onto Kushi and self-sufficient.
अबे एक ही बंदा क्यों है?
This round for RRQ. Drone pushes sign straight into the paranoia, or it's Pharaoh rather, and the spam through the wall will get it done. That is a very nice look for EDG, and a great follow-up given how the last round went.
Yeah, completely trapped them in over towards mid there.
साला फोन चला रहा है वो रहा.
3 players make it out alive. Didn't even need Kang to really do anything in that particular round.
बंदे एंट्री के लिए खड़े, वो फोन चला रहा है.
Another excellent
क्लासिक
moments
लेके.
here from Chichu and nobody in particular. Jenny, of course, getting those kills. The time of nobody just to sneak on out of there and prevent any sort of trade from coming on through.
भाई nobody पता है प्रोडी कौन है.
This will be Kang posted up.
कोच है.
Short to Cat. Could be a fast one coming through RQ. Massive group it could be.
उसने बेटो का ट्रिप देखा लगा
Flip
है.
on the economy there for EDG, winning themselves that half buy. It's going to give them a lot more legs on this defensive side. RQ creeping up into B. It's just Chichu by himself. EDG
अबे
got a
क्या
fair bit of
खेल
information
रहे
in the
भाई. अबे अपने ऊपर ही डाल दिया.
Onto site we go through, but suddenly Jemkin so far, nobody through the wall.
निकाल दिया. गोस्ट से निकाला भाई.
just falling apart.
Finally gost से निकाला.
EDG have arrived. And all EDG are ready to completely dismantle this attack.
भाई लाइक कर दो जो न्यू आए हो. फटाफट लाइक कर दो.
On nobody even saw a site for a plant.
A big smile on the face of Sign there. There's really no inroads into that B site, despite the wall going down on spawn side. The slow Elborn market never got that entry that RRQ were looking for. They just got stuck inside of the bow shed, and EDG completely picked them apart. Great maneuverability from both the Omen as well as the Sage Wall really holds the ability for RRQ to kind of segment the push and the flood retaken from the defense, and immediately after 2 convincing back-to-back rounds for EDG, RRQ will hit that timeout button.
So sort of rethink that one, but particularly the round 5 seemed pretty backbreaking. This one just cement the case. Change up the pacing, change up the strategy, fast on to beat, but fast in response as well is going to be EDG. Completely dismantling that one, not even giving any room for RQ to play through. 4-2 is still a close enough affair in terms of scoreline so far for RQ to make a well-timed timeout, bring back the balance in the scoreline.
I mean, the issue really is the fact that they're kind of out of cash here. And with such a clean round from EDG, after a half-buy upset win, their economy will really be skyrocketing at this point. The objective moves from being competitive in the opening couple of rounds on your attacking side and maybe trying to reset the defense to just how many rounds can we try to chip in here? Because EDG are really starting to get on a bit of a roll, and it was a similar kind of thing between RRQ and 100 Thieves. It was a competitive first couple of rounds, but once the kind of landslide of rounds started to come through from 100 Thieves on the defense, RRQ started to very much fall apart.
Got a couple of ultimates here, at least for RQ to play through. Most importantly, the Blaze Storm, which has already been popped by Jemkin. Crazy guy that will just already has an angle in mid, and despite the fact that Kunkka already pulled out of the scope, and he'll instantly still get that kill. No one cleared the trap, which is going to cause some problems with Jemkin. He's already going to fall over. Sign through the dark cover, no issues whatsoever. Now the rest of EDG start to corral the troops for this retake. In fact, it won't even be much of a retake because there's not going to be a flank. There's not going to be an attack.
Kunkka's just doing tricks on him. Xfero yet to frag was the standout up against 100 Thieves. That's a couple of nice sheriff shots, but Kunkka will end it. 4K for him, coming in on that Heaven retake, and a 5th round for EDG.
Yeah, a couple of cheeky kills there. No, RQ is still alive, at least somewhat here, but EDG really feeling the momentum here, how quickly they're responding to the plays coming through from RQ. Read by Kunkka as well to know that, okay, we'd had some presence into B main. If they cross through tiles, that's going to be a freebie, and indeed that was. Now, gun round back in. Xfero on the op as well. He's actually going to be potentially looking to challenge Kunkka on his B line. Yeah, Xfero loves this op on the attacking side with the veto. Something that's very, very effective for RRQ on Fracture, but haven't really seen an argument for it on this map in particular. RRQ starting to work some mid control now. Have got the dark cover down, but you can see EDG mobilizing to deal with it. And Scientist on a bit of a roll. Out comes the Paranoia and the Hunter's Fury. RRQ under a lot of pressure. Chishu bottom middle applying even more, and it's a beautiful mid crunch from EDG. Xfero didn't even get a chance to take a shot with the operator. He just gets immediately deleted by Jenny. Yeah, he had nothing to do there. Again, mid seems to be where the victories have been taking place. 2 rounds in a row. Kunkka starts with a kill there in the previous round. This time around, it's signed, calling the rest of the troops in for that crunch, as you say. As 4 players instantly melt from RQ's side, and the economy issues will now continue. They barely managed to scrape together a buy, including the very expensive operator that now falls onto the floor.
Oh, this is just looking like a really rough time here for RRQ at EWC. This is the 3rd map in a row I've watched for them where they just have not been particularly competitive. Need to wake up sooner rather than later, because EDG is definitely smelling blood in the water. Kunkka on the front foot here, dash active. For the contact. Oh my god! And no response to the cloudburst. There's no extent. Kunkka will double up. It's going to be spike information gain here as well. The interceptor does nothing up against the shots from Kunkka.
Third day I watch
just a third one out there
go.
to remind RQ of just exactly what they'll be walking into, as the drone will spot the rest of the players. Paranoia does come on through to
classic लेके सामने खड़ा है.
Push potentially a little bit. Reminder, there's no real guns coming on through. Crazy guy won't even bother popping his ultimate. It seems like Xfero is happy to just play through this as well. Could be wrong here. Does Crazy guy actually want to play through or not? Zan's down. Numbers looking terrible. Xfero is making it competitive. Yeah, I mean, EDG had them pinned in on tile side, to be honest there. I was surprised that RQ were even able to exit. Wall across, just went across to Catwalk. Ooh, we've got the Evolution active here for Xfero. Could this be a big round for the Sentinel of RRQ? Deals with that trip nicely, and the player goes down. Kunkka with the blades punished. A little bit overconfident. This is definitely winnable now. It's a 2v2. Crazy got low HP though. Doesn't have the... Well, he has the race, but he can't use because he's down. 1 versus 2. He's involved, but unfortunately, this is where the timeline ends with Darwin. Chichu up for 3 this round. Got a little interesting in the middle there when a couple of kills came through from Xfero. 2 players you see dead in tiles from EDG, but aside from that, EDG still in control. 7 found this half. They've actually won this half now. Let's just see what kind of recovery RRQ will have, if any. I don't think EDG are too swayed by that. You still see smiles on their faces. They know, okay, we overcooked a little bit, but we still won the round, and there's still plenty of cash here on the defense. I don't think they're going to be slowing down this aggression. Be nothing but pedal to the metal on the defensive side here. Very much bullying RRQ, who continue to just play this slow pacing on attack.
अगर कल जैसा शायद ये लोग भी जल्दी खत्म कर दी ना जी का मैच जो 45 मिनट 1 घंटे में दोनों खत्म हो गए थे 2 घंटे 1.5 घंटे में दोनों मैच लोग का खत्म हो गया
respect.
बहुत
Neatly onto Cat.
बहुत गंदा हारी कल
Checking over towards mid as well. But they've
भाई ये
got
लोग
behind
एडीएस
Sign
का
here,
सब
who's been
पीक करते
performing
ना
pretty well so far.
उन
He
लोग का
has
लग जाता है
potential.
हमारा लगता ही नहीं
Time
है
his way into mid, and Null Command has been
कर दिया डॉग नीचे
quick
दे
here from Jenny.
Sign peppering away towards tiles.
Oh,
There's the
bhai,
opener that they were looking for. Jemkin finally winning an opening
ऑफ
duel.
लेके
And
पीछे
onto
ऑफ
Kang
लेके
that's going to be
पीछे
big impact for
भाई
RRQ as they
ये
look to
इसका
try to
ऑफ
open up the
स्किल
map. But
इतना
EDG
अच्छा है ना लवर्स
mobilizing here in the
रॉक
mid-round.
Not confused about that Null Command. It's
हो
gone
गया
now.
पकड़ा गया
Nobody is aware of utility being spent over in mid in Pizza. Now confirming that with the fact that Xfero had to shoot the dart as they see each other as well as time starts to run on out. TP back over towards B main and now for the execute.
Okay.
See if they can make it through this one. Smoke will cut off EDG for the time being and the wall as well into spawn. So this is going to be one of the first few plants that EDG will manage, or rather RRQ will manage to have.
Yeah, that's the clean execution that they were looking for on the B execute, quite honestly. It'll take EDG a while to be able to actually maneuver themselves into the front side. You see the paranoia at the ready here for Zan. Xfero's hanging around in B main, could be a thorn in their side late as they come on in. Hunter's Fury is going to start to make them uncomfortable. Jemkin taking advantage of that. Here's Xfero inside a B main, not dealt with yet. Chichu still under pressure, getting scanned out, spammed down from the players out on site, and this is perfection for RRQ. Wow, for Jemkin opens up the round and closes it out as well.
Late in the day, but a flawless is exactly what RRQ need to bring back some momentum for their own mentality, for the sake of the economy as well. And as you mentioned, perfect execution. Start off with an early kill, burn away the Null Command in the middle of that round as well. Xfero then TP back over towards mid, and then they execute smoke out in towards Pizza. Wall up for CT. Easy plan, easy money.
Gonna need more where that came from RRQ though.
ये blind में
It's
पीक
been a
करके खुद ही blind हो गया
half of them outside of
लाडले
rounds 3 and 4. Finally breaking through in 10 after a big streak
लाडला
of
भाई
EDGs.
आसुना
Got the shot
भाई
done
ने
initially. Very spread around the map
चलो
is
कोई
RRQ.
ना
Not many movements in middle. Odin's out for nobody, and of course for Kang, you buy yourself another operator. It's been worth its
भाई
weight
ये
in gold
बफर
here.
क्यों होने लगा
He's got the money to play through.
भाई देख वैंडल देख भाई क्या
Odin online
कहते
for nobody as well. This is what you can do with this level of cash. Another slow one from RRQ.
अच्छी गन है
It's the first move here. Drone comes out. Cancelled immediately by the KO knife.
मेरे को तो ज़्यादातर वो
So
दिख
all
रही
of that
है
pressure they were looking to create with that Sova on his lonesome on the A side of the map won't really be
मेरे
going the
को
way
गाया दिख
they
रही है
wanted
मेरे
it to.
इसमें
Out comes the drone for nobody. Only sees the singular player outside of B main, which is
भाई साहब,
Xfero,
वो
which is
निकाल
not
लिया।
really going to give you too much information as EDG.
You have Chichu
Oh,
pushed up
नहीं
fairly hard in mid as well.
भाई,
He's going to get smoked
क्या
out for the
हो
time
रहा
being,
है?
but looking to see if he can hear something. It's all soft movements from RQ as they transfer
अमरेंद्र भी
over
है
towards Cat
रिकॉन
mid
फैंटम
to
तो
A.
रहती है रिकॉन
Straight to the
फैंटम
sight lines of
सबके
Jenny.
पास
First
में
contact.
रहती
You'll
है
see a head
ज़्यादा
momentarily. You can see multiple heads actually calling the troops now. Close the door. Get the rest of EDG out here. He's been scanned out as well. Paranoid to assist. It's the minimum that you can expect for the rest of the team. Kong now has a lot of work to do. Nearly had a collateral there, but Jenny's got himself two as well. And this looks like a pretty damn good defense. Jenny falling back to the generator.
भाई साहब
And the last player for Xfero caught out by the KO knife, and so little he can do here up against 3.
10 seconds, he's cooked.
लोटस मैप में अजगर का फोटो कहाँ पे यहाँ पे अजगर का फोटो के
Maybe a
नहीं
few more
लाडले
points
वहाँ
towards
कोई
his
था ही नहीं
ultimate
जा
here,
क्यों
but with
रहा
only
है
5 seconds, no time to plant. Jenny battered and bruised on the backside of Jen is probably the only player he's going to be able to take here with him here. And the plant looking to just bait out an additional peak, but maybe not what he bargained for. Kang will take the weapon out of his hands, and EDG yet another beautiful round off the back of just defending RRQ before they can even get into the post.
I mean, Jenny saw everything. He saw multiple players
भाई क्या
in
ये
the
लोग
cross.
ब्लाइंड डॉज करते
Instantly
हैं
pops
यार
his fragment and then walks on out of there. Has support from the rest of the players. I thought Kong was going to hit a collab there, but Jenny does absolutely nothing. Then the final kill on Xfero just to keep the economy of RRQ a little honest here. And let's see how honest it looks. Looks there's some ultimates in there, so a full buy, which is nice.
Yep. Sage Rez is probably the one that you keep an eye on. I want to try to throw a body at this round early on and see if you can potentially just trade out off the back of that. Nishigutiel opening this one up, and pressure will be on Sign playing from Wine.
Jenny close by though, but not close enough to really do anything about it for the time being.
You can't drone from the same spot again, honestly, after seeing the fragment.
Oh, it's a big swing.
EDG for the win. Let's
And now,
go.
A lot of work to do here to get the rest of the players in. Nobody hasn't been flashed out. That's a good flash on the opposing side though. Just rips apart 2 plays, but one will get raised back in. Keeping numbers good for RQ. 4 versus 2 here. Kung still with the operator. Has to slowly clear his way through. Dash up and ready to go, but he just wants to play and he can't. Sam takes him down. Now Chichu just have a little bit too much here. 8-4 RRQ. You'll say that this is a reasonable minded comeback in the first half, as we do in fact in this first half.
Yeah, Jemkin, couple of multi-frags on the Jet. That is the difference maker here for RRQ. He's a little bit too quiet, a little bit too average against 100 Thieves. Not a poor performance, but it never is for Jemkin. You know, his bad game is probably just going dead even. But you saw what level of impact he can bring on that attacking side, and now half alone, a 3K and a 4K. Rounds that were picked up by RRQ. He's been good for at least half of them there.
अबे मेरा AFK में घुस गया रे, पता नहीं, मैंने सिर्फ म्यूट रखा था.
अबे यार मेरा पता नहीं साला ये क्यों हो रहा है.
Importantly as well,
बफर हो रहा है.
just because I know he will be the player that
Brave से कर ले.
will look at in terms of his own personal performance, but when you are the sub coming in, when you are the coach sub as well, eyes will be on you if the team performs poorly. But honestly, his stat line and his impact in this game was honestly quite high for Side.
I've been telling everybody, like, you know, most people who have an assistant coach coming in, you'd be really asking some questions. Like, honestly, this guy's not going to do anything. But Side has plenty of playing experience. I've seen him play very well against some of the best teams in the world in scrims over at boot camps and things like that.
Actual scrim god.
Yeah, bit of a scrim god sometimes. So, you know, I know mechanically he can hang with the best. It's just really a case of whether he's able to do that at the highest level of competition in an official.
हाँ, उससे ब्राउजर से कर देना, वो वाले नहीं होता वो लोड बीड.
I will not confirm that.
ब्रेव रे.
He has played pretty good. And I'm a big believer in Side. I think he's a pretty solid player for quite a while. And clearly EDG have seen some value, at least in his read on the game. But even in the server, not doing too well for himself. I mean, Smoggy is of course irreplaceable. But I think, you know, just check
भाई वो क्या ऑफ कर रहा है बे EDG का.
I don't think it's underwhelmed for EDG. Even in their loss, he wasn't necessarily the poorest performer. And he's had to play a bunch of different roles. They've been chucking him on the bloody Phoenix like he's not a duelist player.
Yeah. He flexed a little bit for me when he was on Dire Walls. He's mostly
been an info unit player and then flexing.
ओडिन चला रे भाई, अपने टाइम ओडिन चला दे तो क्या होता है.
And
patented flex
player.
Allow the rest of EDG to play what they're comfortable with. They're gonna do. Speaking of that, Kung has certainly shown that 9 and 5, plenty of operator kills as well, completely dominating on that weapon as we have the top side to EDG on the attack side. Q still looking to really pick themselves up some rounds to close the gap.
Smoke hata to loita gaya.
Kung definitely wants to be the player to be able to create space on the entry for EDG. Crazy guy on the line, spotting out this push. The wall is a little late. Kung's in front of it. That's a nice entry for EDG. It's very under pressure, pushed out by the dart. That is a nightmare scenario for RRQ.
Just 2 for nothing there. You beat the timing on the wall as well if you're Kung, and now the plant comes on through easily. Kung already made his way in towards heaven. RRQ honestly have no idea. There's nobody falls. The information goes over.
और अपन यहाँ पे कैरेक्टर भी यूज कर दो
here, which is going to be interesting. But Kung with a massive backside. Not ready for that one.
Jepkin, and it'll be cleaned up by Kung as well. Yet another 4K from the highlight machine.
ये कल कौन जीता था रे इसमें? ये जीती थी ना? EDG जीती थी क्या कल?
Have someone in the
अच्छा तो यार RRQ के साथ है आज.
When he was holding the wall out and tried to shoot him on an eco, and that's happened exactly the same way here. In the very next game, at some point you have to hold your hands up and start to scratch your head a little bit. You know? That's not
नहीं लग रहा था मेरे को तो.
Really need to tighten that up a bit.
Because she likes to get
जैसे पिक्स लिया मेरे को नहीं लगता होएगा.
So we've been there, done that for RRQ, unfortunately. Do be crazy out there for crazy guy. Kung
दो सेंटिनल है भाई.
Up to a nice and early blade storm. Would love to find a pick here, and he's got it.
इससे क्या सबक मिलता है? इस एंड में 2 सेंटिनल मत करो.
In reply here for crazy guy who swings out, trying to you know, bark as loud as he can. Only goes to Kung, who continues to get closer and closer to his knives. And I imagine they're probably just given the plant here.
एम में थोड़ा सी
allow him to enter if he dies.
अरे भाई क्या ही घुस गया वो
क्या आउटलॉ चलाया है भाई ये यार ऐसा ऑपरेट करने का मार्की
अपने दोस्तों की एचपी कम कर दे लोग
देखना क्या उसको पता है कि भाई वहां पे कोई
got to once again try to dig themselves out of a poor situation. They've had really, really rough starts in both of these games.
अबे क्या निधर देख लो
running
और प्लेयर है कवर देने नहीं हो रहा है
अरे भाई आदम जी बोलते हैं
but a flawless anti-eco for EDG.
Expect the Gemkin to maybe at least get that one out of Jenny, but not going to be the
अबे वो
case.
बीच में क्या रखा है रे
जेडी भाई व्हाट्स योर सोर्स ऑफ अर्निंग ब्रो ये देखो बाजू में ऑफिस का काम चालू है
It just can't.
मतलब शिफ्ट खत्म होने वाला तब मैं को वॉच
They
पार्टी
saw
चालू किया
EDG lose
ऑफिस शिफ्ट
ascent.
खत्म होने
They kind
वाला
of feel like maybe we did better in our ascent game than they did, and also EDG typically don't play this map that often in terms
भाई
of
इसका
bans.
ऑपिंग देखो
They figured out that EDG just needed to make a bit of an adjustment to their lineup here.
ले तीन लोग एक पे पुश
Suddenly
कर
we're
रहे
off to the
भाई
races.
आज जयदीप भाई जो आए हो
Someone
तो
once
लाइक
said
कर
it's Kong
देना
Kong's world, and we're just living in it. RQ is certainly feeling the results of that.
First gun round for them though, and it's not a particularly threatening looking bonus on the side of EDG.
अबे वो
I
देख
guess the
रहे हैं
blade storm is probably something you're concerned about. The single rifle on side. Here's the wall inside of B main. Nobody knows that crazy guy may be playing on top of that, but
In which
EDG
field
starting
you
to
are
chip away
like
now.
professionally ब्रो मैं तो सब फील्ड में प्रोफेशनल रहता हूँ
Door closed.
अबे वो खुद ने बंद कर दिया बे दरवाजा
The pressure here.
गेम को छोड़ के सब पे प्रोफेशनल रहता हूँ
A quick TP available for Xfera as well to get onto that side of the map. And that side being B is where this is likely to end with the shift over of the spike. Look how far back Kushi is playing as well.
Yeah, it's retake. He's holding his dart and his drone to try to spam them as they come
इनका
on
bonus है ना?
in. We've seen this sack-heavy playstyle for RRQ
भाई
against
चार
100
लोग देख
Thieves.
रहे हो
Not
फटाफट
go
लाइक
well for
कर
them.
देना आज
Jemkin's
को
been dropped off on wine. Rotation's coming across from
भाई
Crazy
वो देखो
Guy,
वाइन में
but
जाके बैठा
really
है
they're just trying to
अरे
look to
भाई क्या
pick the
यार है
numbers
देखो
of EDG as they make their way
एक
over and the
रेस
choke
का
point is
स्पॉट आ
activated.
गया
Okay, well that's going to be the first little bit of information here, but like you said, they're just going to
Bye,
play for the
Vista.
retake.
Oh, yeah,
They've
bye.
been smoked out. It's going to
Oh.
be CT, which means no further impact here. Nobody on site. No
Direct
issues
the
for EDG in the last moments to try and get this plant, which they will do.
ओ भाई
Through the
क्या मारा
smoke here. Crazy guy's just going to fall off.
रोटेशन अच्छा है यार आदर्श का देखा
और
जाए तो
जयदीप भाई
Where are you off to,
और
mate? I
बताओ
cannot believe that he's
Ore
picked up
bhai.
that pick onto Xfero. Jemkin and nobody going 1-for-1 in the meantime. It's a
Aar gaya.
two-man advantage
Aar
here
gaya.
for
Gaya,
EDG,
gaya.
who is looking to run away with the bonus and the rest of Ascent with it.
इसके बाद
Once
वापस
this round is done, you feel
Bhai,
like RQ's run on this
kya
map is also
push
going to
kar
be done.
diye
Kushi
yaar, ye
dropping
log
off
ne
on
to.
9 HP. They just have to save the weapons here.
100 थीव्स
It's
को
their
क्या
first
हो गया
gun round
लाडलो
and a
इतना
half.
अच्छा तो खेल रहे थे तुम लोग
Got to do what they can to
100 versus
maintain
कौन है BBL भाई
some
BBL
available
बेस्ट है
economy. But for
बीबीएल ही तो
EDG,
भाई बीबीएल का ही तो अच्छी
just
टीम है
too
उसने
easy.
तो
Walked into essentially a free
परसों
site.
उसको हराया था क्या
And then
नाम
Chichu
है
with the
EDG को.
wherewithal,
आरआरक्यू
the
को
insane confidence and ego to just walk into
भाई
market.
EDG को हराया था
He
bro
gets a kill as well.
अच्छा ईडीजी को हराया था
Jemkin looking for some exits. But I don't think he's going to be given any. Remember,
हाय
guys,
संसित भाई भाई
EDG
बीबीएल का
walk
कमबैक
into
होगा
this bonus round with one
यही
rifle,
गांड फटती
and
भाई
they walk
बीबीएल का
out with
कमबैक
4.
बहुत हार्ड
The
होता
amount
है
of economy that they're going to have on this attacking side when they're up
बट
11-4
ईडीजी
is
ने
going to
परसों
be
कमबैक
ridiculous.
अच्छा किया था एक
A
मैच बट
timeout.
दो मैच फिर वो
I
Time out
think
है
it's all
भाई।
from
हार गई
EDG.
थी।
I'm not sure they
Time out
necessarily
देंगे
need
भाई।
it, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if
अभी
it
उनका
was
ego
from
इसके बाद।
RRQ,
वो
but
इसको
maybe
मत जा
EDG
नियॉन
are
वहीं
looking to
वेट
just
कर
अभी
रही
उनको
है
make
ट्राई
sure that
करेंगे
they
ego
can
करेंगे नहीं पता
align themselves on how to stomp RRQ a little bit harder
चलो
and make sure
भाई
this is 100%
अब
going to be a
अपना ऑफिस का काम
13-4 here,
पीसी बंद
Avil.
करता हूँ
Yeah, just the last few rounds here, and obviously a somewhat broken
एक
economy in
मिनट
the sense
बताओ
that
डाल दो
3
आज।
players from RQ will come in with pistols, 2 with the saved rifles. Dismantling of that one will be part of the conversation here for EDG to lock in
सेव
the
करा था
rest
ब्रॉडी
of
किसी ने
this half, and once those guns are gone,
हाँ भाई आप बताओ संसित भाई
struggling
कैसा
to see
चल रहा
where
है
RQ can even find rounds here.
भाई वो केओ को लिया क्यों यार वो बॉडी शॉट मार रहा है
I
इससे
couldn't
अच्छा
tell you,
पहले
mate.
खेल लो
I know Jemkin has a Vandal, and that's
Ah,
usually
Brody?
good for a round or two. Honestly, a hero Vandal on one of Pacific's
का
very
गया।
best duelists
बोलना
could be a recipe for
मैं बोला,
success.
KO
The
देगा,
problem is
body
I
shot
feel
मार
like
रहा था,
everybody
उससे
on
मैं
EDG
खेलता
is
है।
playing just as good as Jemkin right now, and Jemkin does not have
खास
as
स्कोर
much
नहीं
help.
बनता है
हाँ
वरना
बट
मैं
अच्छा
जान
ट्राई था ईडीजी के तरफ से बस चल रहा है क्या चल रहा है भाई पेपर
go.
ऊपर हो गया
2 more rounds there for EDG.
ओ ये अच्छा है भाई
Plenty of time for them to discuss how they can keep this half flawless. They've already got the first 3.
वाइन वाला है शायद
ना ना वाई वाई
That'll
पर
be a
इतना ज्यादा चल
blowout.
रही है अब
13 and 4 victory. If this goes the way we think it might
भले इसको
just, but there's a little bit of
इतना
a buy
उन
up
लोगों
here.
ने वो
In fact, it's going to be a 0 out in the economy.
नर्स कर
RQ
दिया
They'll go all in on this round. They want to make sure EDG are kept well and far away from that 12 as long as possible.
I mean, they just have to get some rounds at the end of the day. KO Knife will scan the fact that Sage is over towards B-Bay. They know the servers at market. She's well aware that this is a slower-looking default from EDG so far. Double set up on Catwalk. This is where RRQ really want to contest EDG, but they can't overcook this one. Kang is primed.
क्या लगता है ट्रैप
Backed up by Jenny as well, and you see the sign is still in top mid.
भाई कैसे जा रहे हैं
his way down Cat. Looking like mid to A for the time being, but they'll eventually walk into this double setup. Jemkin up first, you said he'd always be good to hear. He's got a little bit of help with Xfero on the sidelines. He'll be able to make it his way out of there, but still
BBL 7-5.
Jenny doesn't know where he is though. Jenny goes down here. Chichu and nobody still sharp their own side. Just the two players holding a strong anchoring on B. It's enough.
I mean, that's the perfect setup for RRQ. Quite honestly. And that's exactly how you would want that round to go. Jemkin takes first contact. Xfero has it covered. Then you get what is essentially a bit of a mess. Jenny bursting through. They know it's the KO on Catwalk there. No one's really playing anti-flash well enough with that cloud burst down. You should not be getting caught that hard by an underarm. The rest of the players splitting through A main on a really nice timing. It's map point for them now. And it's looking like RRQ are about to get blown out on their map pick 2 times in a row here. Most likely on their way out of EWC.
How did you get permission to watch party? I got EWC costumers for permission, bro.
Tell you what, RRQ at least got 10 rounds on this map against 100 Thieves. And up against EDG, it's looking a lot less than that. At least the first opening shot from Crazy Go that's guarding onto Kang is pretty damn nice.
Oh, bhai, this is the
end. It's going to be able to slow down EDG. So want to walk on. Over from alongside Crazy Go in lane. That's what you want to see. Okay, it's not over yet.
You can't force your way through a literal brick wall. You know, figuratively sometimes, but the Sage wall is down there. And Jemkin, I mean,
I don't know, I just filled the form and they just gave me the approval to do the watch party and all.
And every time the EDG has gone into the arms of Jemkin, he's at least had some impact, if not one round.
EWC 2026 Paris
RRQ's got 5 rounds, no, 3 of those are Jemkin. Multi-frags on the attacking side, and a multi-frag between him and Crazy Guy down the B plate.
Looked competitive in the first 4 rounds, but
thank you.
Trying to find a little something here, build back some confidence in this map.
भाई 12-5 से कमबैक होएगा तो मजा आ जाएगा
with a 1 map loss. Jemkin wants to walk
नहीं
up
भाई
and
अभी
just
तो मुश्किल है
the shot's found by nobody. He disappears.
Sage is on the other side of the map. You can't get the res going, but Xfero trading things nicely. Neural Theft did come out just before Chichu went down there. Very tentative here. Kang waiting for an opportunity. TP away from Xfero. Hold on. Kang might have found a gap here, and Zan's gone down to the Hunter's Fury. A is completely open. RRQ looking for the res, but Kang's already on the flag.
Zan just, he gets scanned by the Neural Theft, obviously.
Option
and he stays there, gets killed by the Hunter's Fury, and now Sign just traveling his way through to spawn. Kang still catching stragglers on the way out from B. This Crazy Guy and Cushy going to keep things competitive numbers. 2 versus 2. Pretty split as well. If you look at the minimap, everyone's in separate locations. Could be a couple of different isolated ones.
Well, not a Crazy Guy. Has to put together a heroic 1-on-2 open plan for EDG. Complete 180 crossfire between Heaven and A main. Even for the Beast to the East, I don't think that this is going to be good enough. Out comes the dart.
Oh my god.
Oh my
god.
One cheeky little round in there for RRQ to keep things interesting, but otherwise we're back to scheduled business here. Back to scheduled program.
This is the end.
High expectations for this team, and they meet it on map 1.
Couldn't agree with you more. Honestly, I'm just waiting for Bucket to get involved in the conversation. He's my favorite guy.
This is the end.
And honestly, I think I'm a little bit disappointed. I know you're a big EDG
fan, nice prediction, EDG.
I was a big fan of what we saw early on in this one. Is Kankan the best player on this team right now, or is he the best player in the lobby, or are you giving it to Jemkin?
He's basically the protagonist of Valorant at this stage. So Kang is like the guy. He is Mr. Valorant. He's John Valorant, I'm pretty sure.
He could drop sick bars as well. If you haven't heard his rap songs, you should look him up.
Are we going to play it during the break?
I think he was playing it in the server, mate.
I think we should dance to it. In the meantime, can we talk a little bit about what we witnessed here? Because RRQ seemed to be challenging an operator one at a time. Is this a lack of coordination? Is this like a little bit of panic? Why are these entries not so clean? Because the attacks looked like you said they're running into a brick wall at times.
I mean, honestly, that was EDG in that
that was
round,
EDG towards the end, but yeah.
What I'm saying, what I feel is it's not just one player for EDG. Like all five of them performed better. I think they were a more cohesive team. I think the macro was better. I feel like a broken record because I think I said the same thing about 100 Thieves versus RRQ. I feel like RRQ has just run into a team that's playing much better than them, and they're just not on the right level.
बहुत सारे players हैं सही जगह, but वही खेलने आना चाहिए वैसे.
We've seen fast plays come through from RQ, we've seen slow ones, both of them get dismantled pretty quickly by Sign and the rest of EDG. On that replay bit and that highlight there. By the way, Sign had, I think, 4-1 in first blood, so it's not even just Kung opening up early, who himself had a 4-4 first blood, first death. So a lot of these EDG guys finding early value. Kung even on the Marshall round as well.
Guys, vote.
3 for nothing.
I mean, we saw everything here. The wall bangs were coming out. Chichu had a fantastic game on this Cypher. Really love watching the Sentinel early on defense. And then Kankan, there you see just a little sample of the Jet, the takeover rounds. Xferno trying to make his impact felt, not enough. And Jemkin, the only one with stats that you can even smile at. You got blown out when you're looking at the KDAs here across the board. RRQ has no reason to be confident coming into their opponent's map pick next. This was your best chance. I don't want to try and even tell the story that they're going to come back and win the next two rounds here. So let's highlight what we saw on the other side. For Edward, you're playing with an assistant coach. How strong are they out of 10, Avril, and are they getting better from day one to now?
Right now, in this particular game, they're looking at easy at least 8 to 9 out of 10. Essentially didn't really let any rounds get away from them. Even taking attack timeout, if we're correct on that call, towards the end when they were 11 rounds, only 2 more required. Not usually a position you would take a timeout, but they're saying, let's just clean this one up. We've got 2 more to play through. Talk a little bit about how we're going to get those last 2. Got them pretty damn easy, despite dropping that one kind of funny round where you talked about them just rushing on about A and getting cleaned up.
Yeah, sometimes you just don't get the right execution, you know, especially when you're so far ahead, you throw away a silly one, but you still put the pieces together. Let's be honest, they were so far ahead, it was only a matter of time.
One other player to call out before we go to break. Gianni, of course, back on this roster for EDG. He's been off. He's now back in the starting lineup. He played a KO. It was only the second KO appearance we've had at all here in 2026 for EWC. Where else will we see a KO? And if not the next map of Breeze, what do you flex on for other agents?
Probably the next map of Breeze. Honestly, like maybe not this next map, but in general, KO, a very popular choice. A lot of people are playing Harper KO. I'm pretty sure I saw EDG play Harper KO, but I got a couple fact check myself there before we go into the next map. So very solid agent right now, and the rest of EDG playing around it quite well.
If not, it's all been Sovas and of course Fades. In the meantime, we're going to a break. I'm told when we come back, it is game 2, hopefully of 3, to kick things off. It's our elimination day here at EWC.
भाई क्या ही सिनेमैटिक दिखाया रे
ट्रैप का वीडियो देखा ना
अबे ट्रैप
आगासे का
प्रिंग दे दिया
देखो आज कंटेंट चाहिए था मिल गया कंटेंट
ओ म्यूट कर दे बेटा डेस्कटॉप डेस्कटॉप म्यूट कर दे क्या पता इसका कॉपीराइट आ जाए पता नहीं ना ऐड है ना वो मैं तो म्यूट कर रखा 100 टीम्स का मैच था कल. मैं जीतूंगा. Language.
Had time to play it much because I know most people so far haven't played.
अरे
too much of
भाई.
that.
I played a bit. I got it in ranked mostly, but
जी
maybe
भाई
3-4
सब
times.
अल्ट में फंस गए इसके
Pretty
रेस
decent, I would
के.
say.
Did you win?
I think I won 3 games out of 4, so
Okay.
pretty good win rate. Mostly what I see people do is they try to take mid on attack as fast as possible. And
अब लोग इस
they
पे
go out to
कॉर्नर
splits
में
with
प्लांट
discuss
ही नहीं
with the-
करते.
because
कॉर्नर
it's
पे
quite
गोली
easy.
लग
If you have
जाती है
B-Main
ना
on here, I think you
रुक
win
जा.
now. Actually, on this map, there's so many angles that like normal flashes.
ओ
you can't really-
भाई
India imports
काम.
almost all of its gold. But if you exchange your old gold,
अबे इस
imports
पे
won't
ऐड
be
क्यों आ रही है?
necessary. And that
Best setup? Is it an operator
भाई
map?
YouTube पे
You
थोड़ी
put-
ऐड
you
आनी
put it
चाहिए.
before I even
Monetization
finished the question. Okay, it's an
Yeah,
operator
yeah.
map.
I think like almost every map is an operator map. You kind of need it on defense
Oh.
because for enemies, if they know you have operator, it's
Bye.
quite annoying because there's always like not enough UQ for you. Most of the time, you have chance to shoot with an operator, so it's quite good.
A few people so far have been picking TP agents. Vito came up,
Yeah, Vito.
Chamber came up. I'm curious about Yoru because I feel like on maps like Ascent, where you kind of have those fallback positions, people have been trying it. What do you think? Do you think that, because as you said, there's a lot of
भाई, क्या
angles. You think
tricky
maybe
है
there's places
साला.
you go, okay, I get aggro here, I TP back, I TP back.
I think it depends. Before the most like the best Euro maps where you can put like cross map TPs, like
Yeah,
where you
yeah,
have the cross map lineups. I mean, now it's obviously harder because they make it like 15 seconds. So I'm
टाइम आउट लिए
not
फिर.
sure. I don't know if one flash is going to be enough.
100 फिर
Right
से
now.
टाइम
It
आउट
might
ले
be
ली भाई.
it might be a bit hard. If you
कोच
actually
लग
saw
रहा है
his
उनका
flashes,
सुनाता रहेगा.
I would try right now. I
बैन
think
का
it's
लौड़ो पीछे नहीं
quite
देखने
decent on this
होता
map.
है.
You just see how big is the area. Like you just have like one flash from like coming out of my main. It just kills everything for you. Because if you play Phoenix or like other agents, it's very hard. There's so many angles.
ये लोग भी
Two
कभी
flashes,
कभी एंगल
like,
मिस
it's
करते
not
हैं
enough.
पता है.
Okay.
But the range is quite good, I think. I think it's decent.
Do you think this map's going to lean more towards the defense or the attack?
100 से
Maybe
एक बार
attack
भी
side, if
चैंपियंस
attackers
नहीं
can take
जीती
mid
ना.
easily, I think it's quite
Yeah.
hard. Because they have opportunities to like do B split, A split. There's so many ways to go.
Thank you very much for joining me for this. That's another breakdown of Summit. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
भाई शूट तो करा है भाई प्रोडक्शन ने.
क्या
अभी
लगता
देखते
है
हैं क्या प्लान बनाएगा ये लोग अभी.
मेरे को कॉम
इंट्रो
देखना है
खतरनाक है
भाई.
रे
हाँ वो तो है.
ये भाई लवर रॉक घुसा खा गया गोली. 8 HP लो. साला अकेला को क्या
Welcome
डिफेंडिंग
back.
पे
It is
कर रहे हैं यार ये
Elimination
लोग
Day
100
here at
वाले.
EWC 2026.
Defending
We
in look
start
of
with
बहुत
16
अच्छा है.
squads, but at the end of tonight, we'll be sending our first two home. At the end of the
man.
weekend, we'll be down to our top 8, which we'll be playing in our playoff bracket. Before we get to that, though, we got to finish our first match on the day. It is RRQ going up against
Watch
EDG.
buddy,
and Ever
watch
Gaming
कौन कर रहा
just
है,
took the
मैं कर
first
रहा हूँ.
map convincingly.
कोई दिक्कत तेरे को.
This, unfortunately, is terrible news if you're an RRQ fan because that was your
और
map
रे
pick.
कैसी है?
Now you're going into
आवाज ज़्यादा आ
EDG's
रही है
map
guys.
pick, and you just saw the best that you can get out of Jemkin. And it's not enough to get you more than 6 rounds. So what do we do from here? We don't know. On the other side, EDG is just looking to finish as quickly as we can, right?
Yeah, I mean, EDG are just
Popcorn
outclassing them. As you would
popcorn
expect at an
तो
international
खा
event, this
लिया
is the
यार
team
मैंने
that
अभी
just
popcorn
went on a
दिखाओ
deep
जरा
run
मुझे.
in towards London. Maybe even could have beaten Paper X at times. That was a very, very close game
Right.
indeed. They were one of the favorites to win that event, and RRQ are just not playing at the caliber that's needed to be competitive here.
And especially on a map like we're about to go into
100
like
थी
Breeze,
टाइम
where
आउट लिया तो
historically
क्या
EG
जीत
have done
गई
quite
इसके
well on this
बाद.
map. They
लग रहा है
even
कोच ने
played
गाली
breaks in the
दिया
last
है
showing.
इनको.
And well,
बोले
guess what
हारे
happened
तो
on
आज
Breeze when
तुम लोग
100
का
teams played
डुम-डुम टेढ़ा
RRQ
हो
with the
जाएगा.
blowout just like we
आवाज
saw in
ज़्यादा आ
set.
रही है रे.
What was the score on that?
Yeah,
13-1.
मेरी
if I
आवाज
remember
कम आ रही है और
correctly.
बैकग्राउंड की ज़्यादा आ रही है. सही है.
Sorry,
बता.
we had a
Give him a
13-1
few more.
yesterday.
Give him a few more.
But yeah, 13-5, still a beatdown. And if you look at the last game, you had what, rounds 3, 4, 17 were good rounds for RRQ. There was nothing really consistent in that middle game. Can you win the pistols though and set yourself up for success? Is that enough on a map like Breeze? Can you roll with the economy?
I mean, it will get you like 8 rounds instead of like 3 or 5, but they got to win some gun rounds and they got to have a well-rounded performance. Nobody's lagging behind on EDG. No one's going to just have a poor performance. Every single player on the side of RRQ needs to step up here, or they're getting cooked 2-0 out of EWC.
Yeah, my question will be for the EDG side, where the sign is comfortable stepping into Harbor for this map. That is what Smoggy would usually play here. But you wanted to know if we're going to play any more KO. That has been shown by EDG on this map plenty of times. They probably will look to go back towards that. Kunkka will stay on the jet, and that's the expectation here.
Yeah.
How flexible Sign going to end up being? Just let straight into Smoggy shoot here or what?
He'll literally be fine on Harbor. Like, he's played a lot of Viper in the past. We just saw him on the Omen. Like, he knows what he's doing, and he's often going to be the player that's approaching a lot of the theory. And I think as the Harbor player, you need to know your theory, your retake theory, when to throw out the high tide timings. That's the most important. A lot of the time, Harbor players, they don't even shoot anyone. They don't even frag. Just throw the wall up at the right time, throw your curves down, and turtle. It's all about match.
22 assists.
Press the buttons, bro. Just press your buttons and you're good, honestly. And then Sign can press his buttons.
Let's take a look here at the agents. When they're ready, we'll be bringing them up. We have just a small delay here on the stage. So let's talk kind of comps here. Every time I've seen a team win on Breeze, there's been a Viper in the lineup, right? So, do you play the Harbor and the Viper?
Yeah, sometimes. I think it's pretty flexible with what you want
Viper ke liye to khatam hai
I'm not
bhai.
sure if 100 Thieves played a Viper. I think they were playing solo Harbor, but Viper is very common, 100%. It is a staple on this map for sure. I think we're seeing a lot of flexibility with the comps right now. A lot of people are playing double duelers, some people are playing double controllers, some people playing double linear. I think
double controller best है भाई अगर double controller ले रहे हैं
and for EDG, I mean stylistically, EDG are playing
loud ने लिया था
previously. This is a comp RRQ are very intimately familiar with. Not only they had to play against other teams, T1 in Pacific playing this comp, they used to play it themselves. Moniette used to be the player that piloted the Harbor, so they're going to know this comp inside and out. And the theory around it, they should be reasonably prepared here on Breeze, even if they don't have a good record on it. I've heard other people in Pacific say that their Breeze is a little bit underrated, so we just need to see a big step up on the international stage. You could talk all we want about map theory. I could tell you that RRQ are a fantastic team in Pacific, but if they keep playing like they have done so far, none of that matters yet.
Duelist expectations. I think we're going to see a Jet on both sides.
Jet आएगी यार.
Double duelist. Our Neons coming out throughout
Jet
this
या Neon
RRQ, they just played Neon with Zan, yeah.
It'll be a double duelist look here, and Zan is a player that obviously we talk about him being a rookie here. Probably unfortunately have to say that he had the worst performance on Ascent that we just had, so maybe a bit of a swap over towards Neon, I believe. So Neon opportunity to help Jemkin out, because I think you said it already, but Jemkin needs a little bit of help out there.
Neon is his specialist agent. Like, he's been playing Neon for a long time. I remember even watching Zan in Tier 2 on Icebox, they would play Neon because he was that comfortable with it. No one plays Neon on Icebox. So this is an agent that he knows very well. He kind of goes towards that smoke scroll quite often as well. That should be comfortable for him. No excuses for Zan, honestly. I think it's just the pressure of the international stage getting to him.
I just looked back at the stage. He had 2 players yawning at the same time. One of them starting to recline. So I have a feeling this game isn't kicking off anytime soon, unfortunately. When it does, we'll be bringing you all the action as we are on 2 streams today. Reminder, we also have our Alpha stream up and running, so open up both tabs, catch all of the Valorant action. Next week, we'll be down to just the main stream, of course, over on Alpha as we move to the STC arena. We're backstage, though, today. They're building all around us, and as we wait for this match to kick off, let's take a moment and talk about some of the big orgs. This is, of course, going to play into the club championship for some of the teams. Is RRQ like a massive org? Do they have squads representing multiple titles, or is Valorant their best hope to earn points?
I think they do have squads in other titles. I know they have an Apex team. I'm not sure if they're qualified to EWC. They have a very big presence in Southeast Asia, so maybe some of the mobile games and things like that. We've seen RRQ kind of participating in that regard. I don't think Valorant is the only game that they necessarily need to perform in, but I'm hoping their other squads are good here, Puckett, give it the position.
Edward Gaming just
Mobile
top
lineup भी आ
3,
रहा
but
है
they have
हाँ,
their
Mobile
full
Legend का भी
lineup.
है.
Now you're playing with the new 5th.
Yeah, and EDG, I believe, will have plenty of
EDG
teams.
का
at
इतना नहीं
EWC.
है
They're one of the huge orgs from
नहीं,
China,
EDG
so
भी है
they
Mobile
should have
Legend
plenty
में.
of representation. They usually play a
BGMI,
lot of big games.
BGMI
I'd be
तो-
surprised if
BGMI
BGMI
का
got
नहीं
that strong
पता.
showing across the board at
ये
EWC.
अपना-
And reminder, if
PUBG
you
में नहीं
win
है
the
शायद.
tournament of
PUBG
your
का नहीं
game,
पता.
you are taking home 1,000 points towards your club
मैं सोच
championship.
रहा हूँ
If
Mobile
you
Legend
finish
का ले
above
लूँ रे.
1,000, you're probably
ले
going to finish
सकता
in
है,
the
तेरे को
top
आता है तो,
15.
मतलब तेरे को
I think
info है तो ले
12
सकते
players
हैं
walked
उससे.
away
Info
with
तो
like
बहुत है बे.
$2 million
ले
last
सकते
year.
हैं.
So I'll have to take a look at all of the official standings. But there is so much money being dished out.
Yeah.
And there are another $2 million up for grabs here in this tournament. Pilsky, for anyone who missed it, you got 30 grand for qualifying to this point, right? If you lose right now, you get 30 grand in the bank account.
30
You can even double
grand,
that
bhai.
if you win and get just guaranteed top 9.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's
$30,000.
great. At the end of the
Grand,
day, though,
man.
these teams really want to make it further. I think the storylines that prevail, RRQ, even if they walk
$30,000
away with 30
भाई कितना हुआ
grand,
जरा
if
check
they
करो
get
तो
over
$50,000 बहुत हुआ बे.
that's gonna
$1,000 ही
be
1 लाख होता
an
है.
amount of money that's not really going
$1,000 1 लाख होता है.
20
हाँ.
लाख.
90 लाख.
the mental
90,000
deficit that's
होता
going
है
to be
शायद से
caused by the
कुछ.
नहीं
fact
बे,
that
1 लाख
again
होता
they
है.
just haven't had a
अबे
good
90,000 होता है
एक
साले.
लाख पकड़ ले भाई.
They
हाँ,
dropped in,
पकड़
what,
लिए
9th, 12th last EWC, and
Yes.
this is looking like a very similar result if they can't pull through. So it's going
$10,000
to be back-to-back
मतलब कितना
EWCs
हुआ?
with RQ
30
kind of just get
40
grouped,
नहीं
don't
रे,
really have
ज़्यादा.
too much to show here.
$10,000
for EDG, they
मतलब
just came
एक
third in
10
most
लाख
recent
ना.
Masters.
I mean, they got grouped
I
by
mean,
EWC
all
last year as well,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
but unfortunately,
no.
they
10
come with
लाख
a
ही
little
पकड़
bit
ले,
of
9
faith
लाख
given
पकड़
the
ले.
recent
पकड़ लिए.
showings. Yeah, okay, there's a
27
bit of a
लाख
lineup
पकड़
change, but EDG this year so far coming off that win in top 3 in Masters has to have a little bit more going for them.
We
भाई,
got a
लोग के लिए
little bit
30
of
लाख ही होगा
look
वो.
at our players about
हाँ
3
ना.
more minutes on the tech clock before we jump into this game. So
Tech
kind
clock
of
क्यों
highlight
है
these
यार?
roles for me if I'm coming from another game. I'm not
यार
used to
कुछ अच्छा भी
Valorant.
करे,
What
हार्बर
are
भी दुआ
my
देखने मजा आएगा.
obligations on the team? Let's start with the strategist. Who are the big brains, the IGLs on both sides of the stage?
I mean, you got Crazy Guy on the side of RRQ, very, very experienced veteran player, was kind of coming up in the tier 2 scene, had multiple stints in Pacific.
The Beast of the East? Is that what I heard you call
The
him?
Beast from the East.
Beast from the
Beast
East.
from the East.
I love that. And when
Yeah.
did he earn this tagline?
Back in CS, like more than 10 years ago, playing in a tournament in like 2015 where Asia had no business doing anything, and he was trying to hard carry his team against Kenny S and Titan and some of these players back then in the day. So that's a bit of a throwback. Most players that follow Valorant probably weren't even born yet, back then.
Every other player in the Eastern
कितना
Valorant
चौमो
site, so
दिखता है?
I just can't get that title now.
काका.
Crazy Guy just inherits it from a different game, and that Beast from the East one is just going to be gone.
And
Textures like, why can't it be the Beast from the East?
We saw Jemkin. There he is, and he had an excellent piece breaking down how to set up your jet on Summit. Talk to me a little bit about why you're seeing Russians so involved in the Pacific scene. You were kind of explaining to me off camera. For anyone who isn't used to the global scene of Valorant, how did Jemkin end up on this lineup?
Well, some players from Russia play from East Russia, which is closer to the Japan servers, closer to Korea. So they actually came up in the Japanese scene, both Something, Jemkin. You've had some other players, Crystal as well, coming up from that scene in particular. And that's how they make their way into our wonderful Pacific region.
भाई बट
अपना भी वही होगा भाई.
Yeah, I mean, the Western go to EMEA. They'll play in
अपन भी
that
सोचेंगे
region,
भेंडी
boys.
बाहर कभी गए नहीं है घर के.
And then, of course, on the
जाएंगे
other
तो
side,
ऐसे ही
we've got
दिखेंगे.
EDG, the
वो
biggest
बंदा
team
देखना
in
क्या
China, the
लोकेंड है.
best squad. They came out
ये
here,
देखिए तो zoned out है.
qualified after stage 1. What are the
उसको तो एक को तो
expectations
नींद
for
आ रही
them
होती.
here, Avril, and thoughts
भाई.
on their performance so far? I don't think they expected to lose that opening round.
Yeah, I
भाई
think the
पूरा
first one's
टाइम
going to be
ऐसे
hard
बैठना
because that's
मतलब
the
खाने का काम
very
है
first
क्या?
game you're
हाँ
going to
ना,
be doing
बे
without
पूछना
Swami
करके
for a
बस
bit
ऐसे बैठे
and with
रहना.
an assistant
भाई.
coach in, trying to discover yourself a little bit more. Obviously coming to this game,
और
you
ऊपर
already
से वो
see
लोग
the
कितने
adjustments,
कितने
changing
घंटे
the
खेलते
composition
हुए
onto
दिन का.
ascent, putting players back on their comfort zone agents already. But this is the hope of China. China as a region has had some pretty mixed showings internationally. EDG has kind of been the North Star and the bright star for China. Sheila Gaming obviously has had some interesting
कितने आज का
results
monitor देगा
internationally
ये?
for China as well. They've been
300
perennially the
रहेगा
second
आराम
place
से.
team, but
300
based on what we saw at
240.
Sheila Gaming
नहीं,
yesterday,
320 मेरे
they
को लग
might
रहा है.
not be the ones to really do that much.
300 के
All
ऊपर ही रहता है भाई
gamers,
इन लोग का.
bit of a
जितना
mixed
best
bag
है
of
वो.
results. Sometimes they might have something going for them. They obviously did beat Gentle Mates
800
more
hertz का कुछ आ
recently,
गया है.
but so far this
बाप
year
रे.
they've struggled as well. So
But I
still falls back to EDG to carry the torch.
All right, looks like we may have our agent select loading up here in just a few moments. Pilski, as we take a look, RRQ has put their smiles on. They have the vibes they need. Does Cushy go back to the solo? What's your expectation as we are loading?
It's kind of interesting to see that for me. Cushy onto the Viper. You've got Jemkin Chamber, Zan Neon as the solo duelist. Xfero's playing smokes and Crazy Guy on solo. That is a crazy change-up, at least in terms of the roles. But at some point, when you lose Breeze so many times in a row, you probably have to change things. And they did change their comp to double duelist coming into this tournament, and it did not work against 100 Thieves. So I think EDG, if I'm loading into Agent Select, playing the comp that I'm used to playing, and I'm seeing that my opponent has yet again done a comp swap coming into Breeze, then I'm feeling like this is going to be an easy game for me.
Ladies and gentlemen around the world, lock in. We are jumping into game number 2. This is your elimination match here in Group A. On the mic, it's Avril and Pilski.
Thanks so much, Puckett. Let's get into this one. Breeze. EDG's map choice. They've already won the first map, which means it's elimination, chop and block.
Let's go.
इनमें पता है वो की क्रश करेंगे अभी अगर ये लोग हारे ना तो उनका
What can we get out of this team now?
जो मिलता है ना वो क्रश कर देंगे ये लोग.
Using the government name for this.
इनके पास जो मिलता है ना
defensive side first. Jemkin on the chamber. Might be some early pressure coming through from the elbow, and does get a little bit of info off that knife as well.
Players straight up into the site that's been cut in half by EDG's Viper wall. Nobody going to get the plant down, and RRQ keeping themselves for the retake, but the high tide is keeping them at bay for now.
अभी इसके बाद वाइपर वॉल अप करेंगे देख.
See what happens when these walls start to fade. All 5 ready to go. Essentially from arches. Jemkin making sure no flanks will be occurring through from the elbow side of things. Zan up first. Let's see what he gets around that corner. Sees way too many players. Cushy, excuse me, 3 kills off the back of nothing. Just Zan pushing on in. Cushy following on through, and now the backstab kill on the side. Doesn't quite get the ace, but won't need an Xfero to clean things up for EDG. And a 3-piece from Cushy to light the server up.
That's RRQ. At the start of last year, some people were thinking maybe this guy is Rookie of the Year material. Had a fantastic performance in his opening stage of Pacific, and we saw flashes of brilliance for him. And I think this is really just Cushy in a nutshell. His first bullet accuracy, his ability to use pistols, one-tap guns is always phenomenal to watch, and I think that's the perfect example of it.
How about his second and third bullet accuracy as well? He got all 3 of those in quick succession in under a couple of seconds there. And
तेरा भी गया?
EDG clearly not ready for it.
गया था बीच में.
वो उनका on towards A shops this time around. RQ first pistol. You did say pistols here would be great for RQ. Weren't winning a lot of those at all. Jemkin already has good eyes on players. Doesn't hit the first one. Chichu still falls. Good for RQ. It's all low before really anything even happens here. They walk onto site and they evaporate.
Outlaw picked up by Zan at the end of that one. We've seen him do really good things on this agent. I think it's the perfect agent for his play style. Going to be playing primary duelers, but this is a player that really likes to take his time with things. Likes to take opening duels at his own pace. Likes to use those smoke weapons on the chamber is always a bit of a cause for concern on the other side of the server.
But निकाल लिया
the clean start that RRQ would have wanted here to Breeze as EDG head into their first gun round.
Maybe the change up for RRQ comp-wise exactly what the doctor ordered here. So we have Paranoid ready to go. Zan already just feels that there's players on the other side. He's going to know how he's going to run in anyway. But Jemkin will at least find sign here. It's Chichu and nobody forcing the issue. Jenny to follow through. Cushy, hero of our opening pistol, the last one alive. Guardian only. He will be able to get something done here, given that nobody and Jenny are both pretty low. It's the opportunity for the 1v3 clutches. Certainly available. Positioning, though, has been revealed.
Nice pick onto Jenny. Reposition for nobody. He's wrapping around elbow side low on HP. Chichu's going to turtle into the back of the side to buy time for his teammate. He's on the wrap. His timing is looking excellent for nobody. Showing his experience and winning this first gun round for EDG. It's brute force into the B side and a nicely constructed post plant.
भाई बट उनको 3 गन गिरा दिए फ्रॉडी पता है उनको बाय नहीं होगा.
So the experience coming through from EDG. Position revealed. Situation diffused.
Prime दिखिए यहाँ पे अभी.
Expensive round there. Plenty of players going down. A successful one
भाई
nonetheless.
कोई गार्डियन दिखे ना दिखे, सोवरेन गार्डियन और घोस्ट तो दिखती है भाई.
Look at where we find ourselves.
अरे वो क्यों पता है क्या, बाकी सब स्क्रीन पे आती है ना.
Totally fine. Op out for Jemkin. Going to be
इसलिए ऑपरेटर भी वो सोवरेन यूज कर दे.
Late to the party. He might be playing the off angle up on top of the wall there.
ओ भाई ये
so
क्या है?
Try to get a little bit of an angle from up on high, or maybe try to take first contact here, hand in hand with Kushi to try to hold down this B pot from EDG.
भाई मतलब देखना मिड पे कोई नहीं देख सकता कि वो कहाँ जा रहा है.
High tides out. You know that's time for goal for EDG. Sign leading the way. Utility Jemkin looking for targets.
Oh, miss हो गया.
Quite connect.
वही तो लेट देख रहा है क्या?
Kushi maybe sticking around too long. I think that's actually through the wall, if I'm not mistaken.
Just full spam from Kang. That is snowball for RRQ, trying to prep themselves for a 5-on-5 retake. Drone going forward here from Crazy Guy.
Crazy Guy and the rest of the team all stacked up through arches. It's Kang that has a nice angle. He's going to cloudburst himself just to hide away
वापस से अटक गया.
the time being. Zan popping on
Oh,
the shots.
Oh नहीं.
Falls over, but Kang does at least trade it. Crazy Guy's super low HP now with the operator in hand. Jemkin doesn't want to risk it. Both these players who end up backing on out. EDG with 4 alive, make it out with an extra round.
You don't even need to use Dante's Fury. Oh,
ये क्या मारा?
Yeah.
That is on the other side of the wall, in side, by the way. The fragment to Nest catches Crazy Guy just sitting, man. Not even what Jenny was looking for, but
अभी बंदा दिख रहा है क्या तेरे
Crazy
को?
Guy gets wrecked nonetheless.
बंदा तो पहले से दिख रहा था, तू अब भी बोल रहा है.
Holding on to his operator here is the only.
अभी दूसरे बंदे दिख रहे.
12 ओटी कर लिए लाडले.
कोई रिप्ले.
इसका तो पहले ही चल रहा है.
लग रहा है.
Replay of that. Let's take a look at this one.
यहाँ पे नेट से मारा.
He just does not see it coming. He's like, how the hell that happened?
Why would you? All right.
अभी सही दिखेगा.
Time for a force around the operator. It's really just going to be kind of follow the Pied Piper for RRQ, and EDG once again choosing the right side of the map to be battering down. Leading on in with the drone.
Lineup नहीं वो बस वो tunnel side कोई है elbow side वो देखने के लिए डालते हैं.
Kushi just has to play for retake.
कुछ नहीं कर सकते. कुछ कर ही नहीं सकते ना वो लोग.
बहुत अच्छा है वे ब्रीज में.
मैं बोलता हूँ ना इसलिए हर
See if Crazy Guy's flank can get something done.
देखना पूरा wall से clear कर दिया उसने.
Make sure that doesn't really
दिक्कत ये है ना कि ये लोग छोड़ देते हैं पता है.
For RRQ. Otherwise,
अपने में बहस के 500 बंदे वहीं पे बैठे रहेंगे. Reveal हो जाए कुछ हो जाए.
I mean, if Kushi makes it onto the site, then maybe there's a PI plan on the cards. But with time ticking off the spike,
नीचे देख.
it's going to go. Oh my God! You could have put your house on there.
You would have lost your house.
And nobody.
ये क्या miss कर रहा है भाई इसमें?
Oh
भाई क्या था ये?
Nicely navigated in the post, but honestly, I thought RRQ was going to get a little bit more damage done. They only got one pick.
Jenny with a jump scare there. I was like, well,
तू इनका defense
just drop into the left.
जब defense आएगा ना इनका तब देखना.
Unfortunately, one of those cases where you gambled over towards the wrong side of the map on A, and then suddenly it's all B again.
भाई क्या मारा है बे?
Can only really pray for some good trades to come on through. So operator will be the only thing still in the hands of Jemkin as a rebuy, pretty sure. He just lost a bunch of money there. Game has not gone away from RQ, but again, they're the ones that really need to be locked in for this particular map.
EDG have really been conditioning B, so they're just going to contact their way into the A site. Kushi and Jemkin retake once again. That's the drone and the null command going to lead the charge here for EDG. Should be a pretty easy A site after
जाने के बाद ना हार्बर बॉल करेगा.
retake.
Wait, ये क्या हो गया?
To the plant, no issues. Multiple 5-on-5 retake. Jemkin's not happy about the fact that he just doesn't quite get. Okay, maybe not. He's not happy about the fact that he can't come now. I was gonna say he's not getting these
अरे?
अबे वापस से loading हो रहा है.
Entry type of kills. Couple of decent tags from nobody as well. Kushi falls and just more falling over. Not getting anything in response here. 2 versus 4. No, Jemkin has to start thinking about saving again.
It's Vera with one on the way out, traded quickly by Chichu, who's on the wall. Jemkin doing his best to hold on to the operator, secures the 2 at a 4, so we'll have one. Regardless of how the outcome of this peak comes through. Cheeky movements for nobody. Signed from up on high. A lot of angles to deal with here. So far, Jemkin passing the test, but it's a little bit too much for him.
Nice one.
Nobody removing the operator from RRQ's hands. Gonna have to burn that alternate to the next if you want access to one.
They're gonna have to for more than that because you have to look at the economy being potentially broken here. It was a big buy-up coming from RQ. The first kill to Kankan was basically the only moment of success coming through for RQ's entire retake scenario.
Timeout.
Comeback किया
Timeout.
100
Timeout
Once again,
वापस से गाली खाएंगे ये
it's the
लोग
same story here, unfortunately.
मेरा तो भाई वो
You get a back and
PRX के
forth
टाइम होता था
opening couple
वैसे
of rounds, and then
हमेशा
it
सीन
really
होता
feels
है
like the other team starts to pick up a
PRX
lot of
का है ना,
momentum
next
and
game
starts
PRX
winning
से ही है।
rounds more and more
वही
effortlessly.
देखूंगा
मैं तो
Lot of
VIT versus
easy
NRG
wins
देख
for
रहा हूँ
EDG. Constantly choosing the right sides, constantly going into some of these retake situations for RRQ, and then doing a really good job disrupting them before they can actually complete those retakes. Great underarm flash in that last round from Gianni on site side. He doubles up, then you have a Cove on the other side of things with the Storm Surge. Both the Harbor and the KO are making RRQ's life very, very difficult trying to complete this retake. You even had a Hunter's Fury thrown in from nobody.
Yeah.
They're not just going to let you come back into the site and try to, get on the spike. They're just stopping you before you're even able to make it past yellow or on the B side of the map towards the broken wall. Not easy stuff for RRQ at all.
Talk about the fact that there's also conditioning at play here as
Must
well.
दिखता है
We've gone B so many times. RRQ overcommitted
स्नाइपर
there.
देख भाई
Constant 5v5 retakes.
ऑपरेटर देख रहा है उसके हाथ में
Will be the tour round for sure for Jemkin.
line up
As everyone else strings together whatever they can buy.
लाइनअप नहीं है बे
Kong Kong's already just
Direct.
placed some in. Okay, we're going to speed up really quickly here. Trademark's been
भाई
popped.
देखना वहाँ पे कोई नहीं
Hong Kong.
बैठा है मेन पे
वही
He's
ना
tucked
और
in the
वो
corner.
देखना उन
Oh,
लोग
he's
में
been
देख
spotted
वो
by
लोग
the
सब
recon
पीछे
there.
बैठे
It's
हैं दोनों
unfortunate. It's
तक
the last
अरे
shot come
यार
though. Pretty massive from Jenkin.
क्या ही
Good
था भाई
recovery.
वो
51 HP, but he's alive.
Ulti
Can
मार
lead the
दी
trips
भाई
into this one. Scan up the journey.
ओ भाई
Shotgun
वो
kills
कैसे
going to be good for Zan as well. Numbers
था
under
शायद से
4 in
already।
favor for RRQ and
भाई क्या
EDG.
बैठा है देख वो
Might just be falling to pieces a little bit here.
अरे
Jenny
भाई
walks into his
साहब
depth as
ये
well.
शॉटगन नर्फ
Can
नहीं
EDG
हुई
get anything? They're not finding a
अरे
single
भाई क्या
kill.
मारा है
भाई क्या क्लीन रीटेक था
It's rough for EDG, I'm not going to lie. Very easy on the way on into the A site.
वो देख गन लेके आ रहा है चेंबर ये तो मैं हूँ
Really unable to disrupt
भाई,
RRQ despite what should
जितना
have been a
आसानी से
freebie
अंदर
onto
घुसे
Jemkin.
उतनी
He's a
आसानी
nasty
से
quick scope
वाइप भी हो गए
onto
वही तो।
Kang peeking out on towards the
अबे
double
coordination
box.
अच्छा है बे
I
लोग
think you've
का
seen Kang go down in that exact same position a couple of times
होता
now.
है
And the follow-up is even better, despite the fact that the Harbor all comes through from side. I was
भाई
thinking
ये
like,
स्मोक
okay,
वुमन का है
we
देखा
lost
तूने
the Jet in an
डिफेंस वाला
aggressive
स्मोक था
position.
वो
That
डिफेंस
happens.
वाले वुमन
Now it's
का
going to be Harbor all coming straight through, and EDG is just going to mop them, right? Not the case at all. Great retake for RRQ, and that's exactly what they needed to get back into this game.
अटैकिंग मैप
Thrifty win is
है
exactly what the doctor ordered here. Successful tour de force round. Bladestorm and Reckoning taken off the hands of EDG as the scoreline starts to even out again. Jemkin doesn't get scanned out. Gets flashed a little bit.
Oh my
no, that's
God.
not TP2 unfortunately. That's a big scan coming through,
Oh
but
my
EDG will
god
still
ओ
work
भाई
on it. Chichu even on the other
Oi.
side of the map is able to just get
Hug
a
दिया।
kill, causing problems.
2v2 है
Awkward
ना
exchange, but it's one that EDG comes out in front of. Secure
3v2,
control of the
3v2.
site here. Zan and Xfero.
दोनों में
Only
है
overdrive to come, try to get back in on this retake as they've thrown a progression smoke for themselves. Still the paranoia
एक मारा तो शायद से
here for
ओवरड्राइव यूज
Xfero at the
करेगा
ready. He's got another smoke that just came off cooldown, and there is the Cove
अरे
and the
भाई।
shock to try to zone them away from the backside of site.
Okay.
ये मैच तो कुछ भी करके करना पड़ेगा भाई
To
इनको
go in deep here.
और ये भाई
ओ भाई
Oh, Zan, Xfera as well. Zan's still alive,
अरे
not any
गया।
longer.
It's perfection. Literally the Storm Surge
भाई
and the
क्या
KO knife
timing है
dumped
बे
straight
इनका।
on the perfect position as they try to
अरे
complete that
चेंबर ने
retake.
गलत जगह टीपी
That
लगाया
is just
था
one team dumping all their utility where nobody's standing and the other team responding perfectly. Had a lot of the right pieces of utility to complete that retake for RRQ. Paranoia
भाई
and the
तीन
relay ball
बंदे
clears out
वहीं पे
all of the
रुके थे
left
और
side
दो
of
बंदे
side,
यहाँ
but
पे
it's just a
रुके थे देखा
perfect
तो
Storm Surge from side there.
Yep.
छोड़ ही नहीं रहे थे साइड
And ends up holding on to ultimate as well. You just get one back for RRQ, then it's straight back in the dumps again as EDG control it. Viper's pit for this round as well for the post plants. Slow one now. We've had a couple of quick rounds. This one will be a bit slow from EDG. Just to wait this one to see if RRQ want to make some early moves.
Jemkin going to be first up to bat here. Needs to deliver on this A side of the map. Has a rendezvous up on top of the double boxes. Drone going to be the first contact for EDG that does spot out the chamber.
He's going to get Hunter's Fury out of here as well.
It's a defensive
Actually,
one.
never
भाई
mind.
सारे
It's
मिस कर
defensive
दिए
Hunter's Fury to try and
अरे
slow things
भाई।
down. That EDG
ओ
won't
भाई।
just be able to walk on in. Jemkin would still like to find that opening, but the high tide cuts across the entire
अरे
map.
भाई भाई इसको देख
We've heard the shots come through from the
हेलो
operator now.
दोस्तों
क्या
वापस
लगता है देखो इसका झोल लग रहा है
It's still 4-5v5
भाई क्या
here.
hard
Also
ball है
nobody
देख।
covering the big
बाजू में
flank.
ही बैठे थे
Couple
रे वो
members
लोग।
now,
हाँ।
You might want to look in that direction.
Yeah, you can see Kushi starting to activate in that part of the map. There is the attacker side. Hunter Fury once again looking to disrupt this retake. Chichu striking first outside of the pit. Pressure on nobody on the flank. He's just playing with his food really.
How do you navigate this pit now? 3 flames, nice and quick, and Chichu is making it work inside the pit. The Viper strikes. And now it's a Viper versus Viper with a little bit of help from Harbor as well. Kushi won his trade outside, in towards spawn, on the big flank. But all he's trying to do now is stay alive, and Chichu's looking for him. He'll just goodbye. Chichu will not be denied, and neither will EDG.
I think Kushi wanted him to have the ace as well. He whiffed a good 10 bullets on someone not even looking at him.
Oh. Bro deserves it. Take it, my man.
No, honestly. That is what Chichu does best, though. It looks like RRQ are making serious inroads into completing this retake, and then they run into Chichu inside the pit, and the rest of the story was history, honestly. Side makes it out with an operator as well to hand over to Kankang. And RRQ, money's not looking great. Overdrive there for Zan. You do have a bunch of rifles to work with as well.
Well, here we go. Talk about the overdrive. Not gonna waste any time. Zang's going to be working his way through the map. Oh, some good damage to come through. Oh my god. Looking for that kill, so it would have been a good one. So, we do have players on lower HP than they would like. But however, it's EDG with less HP and less members. Nobody struggling to stay alive. Zang doubles up.
It's sloppy, but RRQ making it work for themselves. 2-man advantage. Kankang looking to take matters into his own hands, but with the spike in hand, is honestly a little bit outrageous. At the same time, though, when you're down 3-on-5, someone's got to make a play somewhere.
Probably not with the spike, ideally. Oh. He's dropped into no man's land, which is going to make Jenny and Chichu's life a little bit harder here. Let's see them work their way around. Back over. Xfero up. There's money here for EDG, so I expect them to do something. They're not going to just walk away from this one, but
they're just trying to get some damage done, I think, honestly, at this point.
Left, right taking it.
Well, they're not looking left and right, but Xfero was in front of you. There was one correct answer out of 3 possible options there, and they both picked the wrong one, but it is what it is.
I mean, that was a round of all time, honestly. I'm watching RRQ whiffing multiple times, but still getting 2 opening picks. I mean, you can't question Kankang, alright? He is the protagonist. You even said it yourself.
Next match is split.
Protagonists lose sometimes. Act 2's usually end up pretty bad for them.
नहीं वो तो उसके टीममेट्स के लिए और सॉरी वो उसके इसके लिए वो जो कॉल सुनते हैं ना खुद से
There you go, no command and the drone to kick this one off straight towards the B
बातचीत करने के लिए कुछ के साथ वो है
are hanging around in this neck of the woods. There's the dash on. It's a little bit of damage, but once again another 5v5 retake.
It's just going to be a slow one coming through. RQ sort of going here.
एक माइक के लिए हेडफोन देते हैं और आईएम रहता है सुनने के लिए गेम का.
No ultimate to speak of here as well.
वही तो बोला है
super relevant.
Yeah, IMC use.
There we go. Fast lane following through the drone as well. Opportunity now. Zan leading the way. The same peak he's done before. This peak ended up winning the pistol, and Jemkin says, "Let's do that one more time." That level of success. 3 versus 2. Sign will even up the numbers a little bit more, but Jemkin's on a bit of a roll now. Just nobody off sight. Double shocks available, but it's Jemkin will quadruple up and shut down nobody's opportunity.
That's about as close as it gets. 11 HP on Jemkin. A very committed one-and-done angle there for nobody. You got to respect it in the 1-on-2. Could definitely be jiggling and doing all kinds of shock bolt lineups, but at the end of the day, RRQ able to scrape their way through that one. Jemkin right in the middle of the pack on the retake. Exactly where you want him to be. And a much closer game here. RRQ now actually starting to show why they have a little bit of chops on Breeze. The record is abysmal. I cannot argue with that, but I'm telling you guys, they are better than that. And I think they're starting to show it.
RRQ certainly have a better run of this map than they did against 100 Thieves, and Jemkin's making sure
भाई ऑफ उससे पता उनको पता चल गया कि इसने ऑफ दी है तो देख क्या कर रहा है.
First shot, it's going to be a whiff. Hong Kong's happy to have his life available. Zan sliding through the wall, easy one around. Jemkin as well to side. This attack is falling apart nice and quick. Spike's gone, and nobody will at least try to do something here. Chichu saw as an opportunity, but that opportunity is starting to fade quickly. He's only got a Guardian.
have freebie onto Kushi. But now RRQ well aware of where he's heading in from.
Oh yeah, so Cheche
out there. They're zoning him away. They know exactly where the spike is dropped.
Box
into the dark cover here. Chichu looking to throw hands as best he can, figuratively and literally. Poison orb going down. He's at all of the close angles. Can't count him out, let's be honest. Chichu's a big game player, but that's a great angle for Jemkin to end a pretty good half for RRQ, has to be said. Another good game. 14-6 on the chamber here for Jemkin, and this is now doable for RRQ. This might be the first map they're able to win here at EWC, but they've got to have a good attacking side to back it.
6-3 was what we had at one point in favor of EDG, so that one certainly could have still run away from RRQ. A nice little 3 in a row at the end, the last 3 rounds possible. RRQ got all of them. That final one from EDG, unfortunately, was very lackluster, completely blown out, with no opportunity for Chichu to really even get any chance of a clutch. Of course, you had that 1v2 as well, where I could see that one going EDG potentially, with a couple of more sharp shots to land Jemkin, but Jemkin's 4K on that round would not be denied.
He had a few plays going the way of EDG as well, though. Chichu inside of that pit. That was definitely looking RRQ so a little bit of give, a little bit of take. The main thing that I'm focusing on the side of RRQ, though, is that Zan has had moments, Kushi has had moments. You're getting the well-rounded performance that you need here. You're getting significant role swaps, and some of the players stepping into the roles where they need to have some impact. Zan on this Neon going to be critically important. Playing solo duels now on the attacking side. He needs to have impact. He needs to make space for the boys.
He's got the weight of his team and also the region on his shoulders here. As one of the Pacific teams finding themselves in the lower bracket, currently fighting for their lives, and they're certainly fighting. This is a close map no matter which way you cut it, which is a nice turnaround compared to what we saw on Ascent, where you have a repeat of that one, and, well, RRQ just go home with the tail between their legs.
क्या लगता है ब्रोडी
second half
RRQ जीत सकती है
RRQ back onto that attacking side. This is where you're gonna need to have a good game plan. This is the third map of Breeze in the last
double controller तो split में भी ले रहे इधर.
They were on the KO Harbor
अबे वैसा double controller नहीं.
EWC against 100 Thieves.
Harbor और Viper है.
That did not work.
इधर Omen Viper.
Jacob back on the chamber that we saw him pounding at the start of the year in Pacific Kickoff. And looking very, very dangerous. But he's going to have to be self-sufficiently able to find some success on this attacking side. Yes, they can set him up in some post plans, but there's definitely going to have to be some dry walking on the chamber and abusing that rendezvous if RRQ is going to go the distance here.
He's had some good op rounds. He has had some good tour rounds as well. Just that one tour round that ended up working out for them.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
तू क्या देख तू कौन सा देख रहा है
मैं 100 Thieves versus
अरे साला ये ड्रैगन
ये दोनों अलग विषय में चल रहा है
It's going to be a complete disengage for RRQ. Back in towards spawn side, looking to clear out if anybody got that info line. Jemkin's been dropped off in middle and might get a little bit of
टाइप कर ले ये वीवो भी वही देख रहा है.
Jemkin has to be a little bit careful about this. You can already tell that Sign is really sniffed out Jemkin. And finally, Kankan's just going to take him to the back of the head. Zansky to roll on in. It's a double scan.
Oh, he
actually threw the smoke. He's going to be the kill. Nobody was stunned as well, but it's crazy. And that's going to be the triple. Kushi to follow through, and it just seems like another repeat of the opening pistol. RQ were looking like in sore spot, but a quick 4K puts things now on the back foot for EDG instead. A knife goes through. Double information, but a double peek as well, and Jenny cannot face up against that.
Where did that come from for RRQ?
8-6
That is ridiculous. Round was going nowhere fast. Perfect Viper wall across the site for EDG. Kill through from Chichu.
Yes.
They lost Jemkin for free. As Kankang flags him in middle, you see it there on the replay, and then Crazy Guy just has one of his rounds. Double right click.
Hello.
Free gun, by the way. That is
Hi,
illegal.
Lily. What's up?
And of course, on the opening pistol, on round number 1, it was Kushi that did the same thing. He got a 3K after Zan opens him up on the retake for B. So it's not just a Jemkin show for RQ, at least in the opening pistol. The scan will actually end up going through here. Watch for contact over towards A as well.
Just clearing the trademark. Waiting for the elbow walk, RRQ. But before Chichu makes a little bit of a move.
ले इधर आके भी लाइक
पांच लोग देख रहे हो फटाफट लाया
doesn't want to push the issue. I mean, a lot of teams just play a really slow attacking anti-eco here. So
Hey,
EDG
Adam
not
Kore.
wanting to
Hey!
get kills in the opener.
साले control
लौले बोला बैन के लौले
Swapped his HP out for clearing
हमारे यहाँ पे मत बोल
the shops.
control कर बे
Your teammates now to work with.
अरे कोई ना
Control the
यही तो
second time
रिएक्शन
is
है
going to
नहीं नहीं ये
ओ
reaction
भाई
Angle
हक
towards
दिया
mid-activation for RRQ sign tucked away into that first corner as well. Will be short of
Oh, bhai!
decent Util coming through from Jenny.
अबे
Doesn't
फिर भी
do
मार
enough
दिया
damage, doesn't look
वही
like it.
तो
Kaka Chichi, the last one's there.
Oh,
Kaka's
bhai.
going to double up here, but he's still got more work to do. Paranoia's been good so far. Chichu
Oh,
managed
तुम्हारे-
to raise the guy
Oh,
now
boy.
suddenly.
2v1
Jemkin,
अरे
4K
नहीं
for the
भाई
round.
मारने लग
Every
गए
time
लोग
RRQ gets pushed, Jemkin has been stepping up.
भाई मार
Even though
सकते
there was
हैं
not much
100 वाला
invested in
match
that
जीत
round for
गई ना,
EDG,
तो
it
खत्म
was
जल्दी खत्म हो
necessary
जाएगा,
for him
फिर
to
एक ही
multi-play
match
on the
वाली है।
Marshall. That's going to go a long way towards working up his tour de force. Perfection
match
from
का match
EDG in
नहीं
that
करेगा,
round.
इसका value आ जाओ,
Has to be
सब
said.
खेलेंगे।
Kankan got down middle on a pretty deep info line. He had Chi-Chi hanging around in elbow, which allows them to 3-stack A and set up some of those flash plays. So even on the pistol, very dangerous. And that severely weakens this bonus of RRQ. It's really just Jemkin, 18 and 7 with the hero rifle here.
हार गया तो डिलीट कर दिया मेरे से नीचे था तो
Full gun buys coming through from EDG now. Again, the scan will come
अरे
on
वो
through.
ओमेन था जो ट्रैप था यही था जो स्ट्रीम में मेरे डिस्कॉर्ड
Sova
में
versus
सुनता रहेगा
Sova
इसका
over
आवाज
towards
यही
A.
हगा था
Movement from RRQ.
साले
Towards
इससे
elbow
ज्यादा
right
किल
now.
करे थे मैंने हरामी बस एक राउंड में हगा था मैंने
कितना गंदा
Well
हगा
spotted.
था भाई
Good
कितना
information for EDG. They can hear all of these footsteps. Orb is
ओ
up.
भाई
Snake
मत कर
bite
लाला
already.
बंदा
मत
ट्रैक
कर
कर रहा
Will
था
be
एम
pushed
लेफ्ट
away
की
to fast
प्रैक्टिस
lane.
घुस गया,
There you
ओबे
go,
मर गया।
Xan.
अबे
That is
भाई।
not what you were looking for on the entry.
He just walked through Ranther, I should say, the snake bite into the loving arms of Jenny.
नियोन ऐसा क्यों घुसा अंदर
That's a freebie one for
भाई
absolutely
B9 में क्या
nothing.
घुसा
सबको बोलता था
Kung
बोलो
up next
भाई।
and he delivers.
को बुला मेगा
No
खेलते
problems there. 5v3. Feeling the
अबे
rough
भाई।
in this round now for
करो ना,
RQ.
अबे
At least
मेगा
Xfero
खेलते ना।
will respond with one.
पैसे
That's a
नहीं है
decent
भाई
pick.
गरीब है हम
Crazy guy still in
अबे
spawn
2
though.
GB का
With
game
more but a
install
class.
कर
अरे
लो,
पैसे नहीं है
Bucks up to
गधे
bat. It's a good peak. It's Ferro
पैसे
was
दे हम लोग
already
खरीद
तू
लेंगे।
खरीद के दे हम लोग का
low on
हाँ,
HP,
भाई।
so that's an easy little cleanup over there.
फ्रॉडी का चलता ये
Crazy guy may
गरीब
want to get
बोलता
his
ये
hands on that
ट्रैप
Guardian, but
मैं
even
भी
if he
गरीब
does
हूँ।
and tries to pick up the
ये
spike,
फ्रॉडी
there's
अभी
two players
बैटल पास
already there.
गिव अवे कर रहा था ये कैसे गरीब है मैं गरीब हूँ
हाँ मेरा हो गया भाई जितना था उतना सब बैटल पास में
ये
कर
तो
दिया
मैं
Great
जीत
for now.
गया उसका टेंशन नहीं है
हाँ तो बैट जीतने की
Spotted
खुशी
by
में
the
मेगा
knife
का
as well.
मिलियन देते
Yeah,
हैं
okay, what can we do here? What kind of damage
अबे
can be
हाँ
found?
बताए होते तो मैं लेता ही नहीं था
Yeah,
मैं कहा
if
तुम लोग
anything
को
at
वो
all.
करा देता था
तो भाई तेरा तेरा
भाई तो
Suffocated
तेरी
by
गलती
this
तेरी
particular
गलती
round, and
ओ भाई
Jemkin
क्या मारा है
ओ भाई
Can't even fire a shot.
जीत गए जीत गए जीत गए
10 seconds
बाय
for
राउंड पे ये
Crazy
लोग
Guy.
जीत जाते हैं भाई
Get
अभी
any
ये
more
शायद
damage
से
done here for
चेक
RRQ.
कर रही है पे
Peg a dart through the top side,
Oh,
but on the
did
off
it.
angle,
Oh,
even if
right.
he puts 2 shots into nobody, it's still
Did
not
he gun?
enough. Very nice. Anti-bonus there for EDG, made a lot easier by the
मेरे
damage
पे
they did in the
Steam
round
नहीं है वो
previous.
account, Steam बना फिर
Okay, well, all is expected here,
भाई
obviously.
स्टीम अकाउंट किस पे नहीं है भाई
Very
इन
low on
दिनों
equipment
में
was RQ
अरे
going into that
वो
round,
वाला
and that
जिसमें वो
opening
गेम
Zan
उसके
run
Steam वाला
through
गेम
was a
नहीं
bit of a
है
question
तो
mark.
उसके Steam से आता था मेका के
Really set the tone for the rest of the round with everyone just getting picked out one by one and
Pirate
a
game
very slow
install
भाई
करने का।
last
शायद
couple of
से
stragglers from RQ to be
क्या
picked
लगता है
apart
फ्रॉडी
here,
अगर ये
all
राउंड
put in the
अगर
hands of
EDG
Jemkin, that's
जीती
what we want to see.
तो लगातार 2 राउंड जीत
Still
सकते
plenty of
हैं
legs left
इसके
in
बाद
this
वाला
game.
भी जीत सकते
और ऊपर से मेरे को लग रहा है भाई RRQ का थोड़ा हार्ड है डिफेंडिंग
Jemkin going to be doing exactly what I was talking about. Dry
मेरे
walk
को
with
ऐसा
the
लग रहा है कि
grenade.
डिफेंडिंग थोड़ा हार्ड जाने
Tried
वाला
to
है
attempt this in the
RRQ
pistol and didn't find
अबे
much
डर
success.
लगता
Drone
नहीं तो
creates
साला मैं
even
भी
more
वो
pressure. It's a
पाए
lot
उससे
of pressure in the middle of the
install
map
करता
as EDG try to hold on the extremities.
Signs
Mega.
looking that way though, and he might just end up peeking straight into Jemkin's sight line.
मेका
Jemkin
में कहीं तो Valorant का
eagerly
मैप भी
awaiting his
आया
first
है
target.
लोटस
हाँ,
मैप में
Lotus
seems like
है।
it won't be found, not just yet.
ओ भाई पिटा
It is
Ule
aware
bhai,
that
time
nobody
wait.
is hanging out around the shop, so I think nobody's life may be forfeit. Indeed, it
bhai
is. And
sahab.
Sign can't respond either.
भाई
Quick
पूरा
rendezvous
छोड़
from
रखा है भाई
Jemkin. Now
मेरे
sets the stage for
बंदों
this
ने।
execute 5 players, all good and ready
भाई
for
जो
go.
मेका आना चाहे आ
RQ
जाना
start
वो अंदर आ
walking
गया
away.
था।
Kungka, nice angle to Zan, called utility
Mega
out.
Knight करते
Now the
हैं।
cloudburst will start to cause some issues
ओ
here, but
नहीं ये
Xfero,
मारना था जेट
it's
को
going to get flashed
कांगा
out,
को
but
मार
otherwise
ओ
still
भाई
flying. Sign.
अरे भाई ये क्या कर रहा है
भाई
Fires
क्या
after a
RNG
bunch of
है
these
ये?
smokes.
पैंटम
3
कर
versus
के
3.
आरएनजी कर रहा है भाई
Mind Chi
Mara, mara, mara.
आ गया है।
as well, and a shot missed. Jemkin, you can't be doing that.
Let go now. Down for Pushy.
भाई
Jenny
क्या
no
कर रहा
more
है ये
utility here. here, waiting for his KO knife, and out it comes. Will at least suppress Crazy Guy on the side.
भाई
Jumping
वापस से
on the
दिया.
cross there. Man advantage now for RRQ, but Chichu was well by Crazy Guy. 1-on-2 for Sign, but RRQ jiggling, and surely it'll be the double swing. It's actually not needed. The Viper Wall will at least zone side the way. Crazy Guy playing for the boost plan, but it's a great swing for Gushy. RRQ up to 9.
11 ammo there. Sign about to run out of time, bullets. He's already run out of teammates. Now that round will run away from EDG also. Well played by Jemkin. Did have that one missed shot, unfortunately, but otherwise sets the team up for success with a very despite the amount of responses that EDG tried to show up with that. I mean, even the final kill, I can't remember the player that tried to flush out Jemkin towards the end there that just got shot on the side of the head, but in either case, RQ still maintaining the lead slightly.
It's a big reset round on EDG. Crazy Guy does not have a primary weapon here though. Maybe trying to min-max the money. Zan v Kang inside of elbow, pushed away by the dart. It's Ferro hot on his heels as Jemkin is waiting for a rotation off that B site. How many blades has Kang got here? Down to 3. Gonna have to be precise, and of course he is. B comes through there, but cleaned up by Chichu. That's a great start for EDG.
Good assist by Chichu as well. He's going to get extra. Crazy Guy wanted to pick up a weapon, and he'll just find his death, unfortunately, instead. Jemkin 1v4 the operator in hand. He's only got 1,300 in the bank, so question mark what he can even do here, if anything. This is going to be a pretty successful half by equalish round for EDG.
I mean, this could be a death blow for RRQ, quite honestly. Their money's at least decent, but we're really looking for a clean anti-eco here to try to cruise along the rest of their attacking side. Yeah, he did. You don't want Kang to get that.
I think he'll get hunted down, so he's dropped that gun away. Now he's just going to make a play for it. See what his headhunter can find.
I mean, he's got the tour de force in the next round. He really wants to stop EDG from getting their hands on as many guns as possible. Catch nobody with a dart in hand, but with 20 seconds on the clock, no spike in hand, there's really not much Jemkin can do.
आप शायद से उसने फेंक दी है हाँ फेंक दी है
potentially coming up through that walk out 1 by 1 EDG
अबे भाई साहब लाइन ऑफ फायर से
doesn't quite
देख वो आप फेंक के आया था
to shoot down any players, otherwise that could have been a very interesting finish for RQ.
भाई उसने 3 गिरा दिए थे फिर भी
There was a wrinkle in time where that was a little bit of a different play unfolding before our eyes. But credit to EDG here. With one of these deep 5 walls in middle, you have to go and snip that out as the attacking side. Just what you have to do on Breeze. You cannot let the defense have all of that mid control just because they put a big green wall on your screen. And sometimes when you go and try to retake that map control, that's where you get punished.
We've seen a decent tour de force round come to the Jemkin before. He'll have to do that again, but into the Viper's pit. Might not be what RQ are looking for here.
Yep. That is going to be
actually pretty huge for maybe
Sign's taking to the space on the other side of things. This is a really nice info push here, and he throws out a cove as well, looking to clear out the trademark.
Oh, ये देख oh मारा भाई मारा भाई ये वैंडल चाहिए यार मेरे को
130 HP Crazy Guy and the rest of the squad led by the drone here.
भाई ये जा रहा है
First whole shot went out as well. Jenny up first on the double doors. Know that trouble is coming his way. Has to just start dropping in some utility because players are making their way on to side. He's got a couple of good shots though. 2 players down. Kang with his own operator. He bought with his own money. But it's Jemkin still alive.
2v3
3 shots on the tour. 3 players left alive.
Oh my
angle, a pro sign down first. Position nice and revealed. Is it sniper versus sniper? Kang he's not looking at the right side of yellow.
Fuck.
Nobody creeping up on
मर गया तो GG है
doors. Spike still.
ओए fuck! ओए नहीं 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 नहीं
भाई
दिख लिया
He almost pulls off a 1v3 in just the round previous. And just as dangerous to give RRQ the double digits that they were looking for. But maybe not in the fashion they expected to get them.
ये क्या मारा इसने मेरी तरह खेल रहा है इतना अच्छा
victory round, and since we're in France, might call it the Tour de France as well. Jemkin, another successful, unbelievable clutch as well. Coming on through to keep RRQ in this one. We talked about the fact that at the end of the previous round, before the one we just saw, it might be a back-breaking round loss for RRQ, but instantly they bring themselves back into action. And guess what? Jemkin finds himself a free operator as well.
This is just the Jemkin hard carry that we've all been waiting for. He's putting the team on his back, but Gianni already silencing him. Out comes the Hunter's Fury. Is it out of range? It's not. Zan in the time, mid-time. He's taken down a pick in middle. And the res comes through onto Gianni, so a man advantage now for EDG as RRQ looking for a reset.
Okay, well, Crazy Guy will pick up that lost operator. See if he's got the sniping chops in and about him as well. Has Chichu right behind him. Losing Jenkin that early.
Oh my god.
Now you got a lost Crazy Guy as well and no chance to recover that op.
भाई ये round
So
again तो
instantly
GG है.
EDG bite back 4
ये round नहीं
versus
रखना
2
चाहिए.
with players looking for weapon upgrades as well.
ये round आगे तो
Low
GG है
HP
भाई.
on Zan and Xfero.
Off angle here, looking pretty good for Chichu, but it's a little bit quicker for Zan. Opens up the middle of the map. Fast lane, applying a little bit of pressure, as well as the dark cover to follow up.
ये बहुत important fight है. अबे how good
patience. This is exactly what you're used to seeing here for Xfero. Spike in hand, signed on the off angle.
Kind of selling this one a little bit here. EDG had the player advantage. They don't anymore, and they have no eyes on where Xfero went.
भाई गन मिल
Sign
सकती है.
just
Free
hoping to
gun,
at
free
least
gun,
even
free
up
gun.
on terms of the weaponry. Jenny's got himself a rifle, but on the wrong side of the map, Plant is definitely going to come on through. It's going to be a 2v2 full retake and confusion on the faces of EDG here.
Yeah, Plant for yellow. Zan is going to hang around on spawn side. The Harbor ult could be really, really key at trying to clear out all of this. You've got a KO knife as well. That's going to be great at trying to read the post-plant positioning here of RRQ. Zan on a big wraparound.
It's an incredibly important round for both of these teams to set the momentum here, but like you said, reckoning has to be the first port to call.
There's the knife.
That's going to be the spot. Again, low HP. We'll find his mark, and now he's just been halted down. Reckoning comes for RRQ. EDG keep it within 1 round.
That is exactly what you wanted to see there on that retake for EDG. That is a very difficult 2v2 to dissect. They're completely out of position.
Neon
But
के
the
सामने
KO
सारे
gives them
चल
the
के जा रहे
information
थे.
that they need, and the Harbor ult is perfect. It is Zan who had to hit his shot on the cross. That is a whiff that is illegal, unfortunately. He needed to be able to find that impact, especially with how sharp he just was. That was a crazy shot up through tunnel.
Yeah.
इनके पास Sentinel नहीं है ना.
Unfortunately, and to be honest, that round started to really fall back into RQ's favor when multiple members of EDG were just kind of caught.
क्या चालू है? 7-7. Score क्या है?
3-3 चालू है.
अच्छा.
3-3 हो.
And the rest of the squad.
हमारे इधर 10-9 चल रहा है.
Overdrive though is going to be making solid that solution slightly. It's going to get caught about util from side to slow things down. But Zan not to be deterred here. Still wants to just throw caution to him. As that's happening,
और pistol मार दिया.
apart for the time being. Just
हमारा भी
a
100
single he's going to deal
भाई
some damage.
pistol से मार रहे लोग.
10 and 10.
The overdrive just takes a little bit too long to get involved. As soon as Zan finally peaks, someone is overdrive fronts out. He just has to classic him. That is brutal.
भाई उसका देखा alt कैसे खत्म हुआ उसके मुंह पे.
Nice looking anti-eco, has to be said. RRQ under the press now as we head up to 10 apiece. A very
ये देख मेरी sword देख इसके हाथ में. बोला ना ये sword ज़्यादा use करते हैं भाई.
Same can be said on the side of RRQ. Very much anyone's game here.
Sovereign
Double
knife.
up, Chishu still on a bulldog. Viper's pit for
अरे वो
Kushi
पूरा
as
स्क्रीन नहीं
well.
देता ना इसलिए लेते
Nothing
हैं
else
वो
to
लोग.
really speak of here. A slow
और वो
start
अच्छी
for
भी दिखती है भाई. बता जाओ
Wait
किसी
to
के
see
हाथ
what
में होगी ना
EDG
बहुत
want to
अच्छी
move
दिखती है
into
मेरे को तो.
first.
Drawing pressure on B. Crazy Guy applying it. How
भाई
patient is
बैठा है.
Kang on this off angle here. This Optul could really decide the round as the war goes up.
अबे नई वाली शेरिफ सब लिए. नई वाली मेरे को गिफ्ट कर दे.
Wants to walk forward and
ओ भाई.
Jenkin wants none of that one, just instantly TP's out. Kushi's already trying to make his way onto site, but Kang eventually finds Jenkin anyway. Just 2 members left now. For the side of RRQ, on site, and they want to go for the plant. That's at least going to give money. No, he doesn't
Okay,
even
भाई last player.
do anything with that. Plant has been a fail. And so is with the rest of the round for RRQ.
That's a big round
भाई
for
बाद
EDG.
में इनका इको है शायद
Money
से.
is completely kaput for RRQ. Have to take a save, and that will secure series
भाई
point if
save हो
EDG
गया,
can just
GG
complete
है.
that anti-eco cleanly enough. That was a very, very nice
मेरे को
round.
लगता है सेव करेंगे हाफ बाय
Viper
लेंगे.
wall makes all the
Force
difference.
करेंगे, force
It's kind of
करेंगे.
unsettling. Jemkin over in mid, who was looking for
Force
that
करेंगे और
lurking
timeout
duel
लेंगे शायद से.
with that operator. Trying to kind of cut
ले
the map
लिया.
in half for RRQ as they apply that pressure to B. They are looking for mistakes for the rotators, and unfortunately, those never come.
And on the rest of the map, the rest of EDG had RQ's number as well. Couldn't even quite get the plant down. 2 versus 4. Probably wouldn't have expected much, even if the plant did come on through. Might just be looking at the victory path now for EDG. I mean, they're not ahead by so much that RQ can't make a comeback, but it's the economy problem that we have to start talking about.
It's going to have to be another heroic round with a half buy or a win in OT at this point. EDG, I mean, that was really one of the final nails in the coffin here. Puts RQ in a very uncomfortable position. But they've got to take a tack timeout and discuss how maybe they can try to conjure some magic on this half buy. When you have a pit, it is doable though. You just need to get yourself into a messy situation where you get a couple of entries, throw down the pit, and then a post plant is winnable. And that upset with a couple of guns picked up could be exactly what RRQ need to get this game done.
Gotta say as well, how far away is Jim? Krishna क्या लगता है कौन जीतेगा बता? That might be able to bail them out. Unfortunately, crazy guy will make this round opportunity a little further away for RQ as well. The rest of this attacking side will make their way through onto A. And now the rest of EDG to receive. That's a good shot from Zan though. Despite being Sun, will respond instantly. It's going to get paranoid out, but slowly everyone's starting to make their way in. This is looking like a little rough one. Doesn't even get a shot with the Stinger. He's got the bandit in hand. This bandit's going straight to jail.
Defense for EDG.
कुछ नहीं थोड़ा मूड ऑफ है अभी थोड़ा नहीं बहुत ज़्यादा पर कोई ना आजा आजा स्क्वाड आजा मस्ती करते हैं
3 towards A and shut down any offense from RRQ. Not that they had much to work with in that round. The tap timeout will mostly have been discussing this gun round here. What has RRQ come up with?
Extreme back against the wall.
Sub-take.
You'll say it was a good showing on the final map of Breeze. If it ends up being that.
Abhi 100 thieves up.
Like the favorite team.
अबे मेरा नहीं hey language
Jemkin versus Hong once again they're walking straight into the sidelines who doesn't quite land his opening shot
मेरे डिस्कॉर्ड पे नहीं है फ्रॉडी के डिस्कॉर्ड पे आ
now Xfero punishes that's the 5v4 that we've been looking
मैं तो रुक जा लिंक का
waiting for these peaks in middle. Jemkin spots out the push. 3 players on RRQ. A singular focus as the dart comes out. Perfect pick from Chichu. And they are just mopping up all of RRQ. Xfero extremely uncomfortable. Side up.
खत्म हो गया
pulled out and punished heavily as it's a 4-on-2 for the game for EDG.
This is it. Crazy guy and Jemkin, the last two alive here. Despite how long it took Chichu to get that last kill, he still manages to find a Crazy guy. Will start evening out the numbers ever so slightly. But will it be enough here? Headhunter in hand. High tied up as well. EDG smell blood in the water and they're looking to pounce. They're looking to strike. They're looking to finalize this last round.
अबे साले तेरा डिस्कॉर्ड शेयर नहीं होता क्या?
होता है ना. EWC मत कर. कोई ऊपर सर्वर लिंक दिया है देख मैंने. चैनल देख.
चैनल में देख रहा हूँ.
अरे सर्वर लिंक करके चैनल देख.
RQ, they're going to walk into the crossfire. Plenty of members here. After the cove comes down to cause some big problems, Chichu spamming through the box. Lights that one up. Two of them together, Jemkin, Crazy guy. I've just wiped the floor with EDG's crossfire.
I think it's honestly just a case of poor timing there for EDG. Was up. We heard the KO flash in our ears. I think as soon as EDG went for that push to try to disrupt whatever was happening for RRQ, that's the point where they peak together. Gianni walks up, you hear the flash there. And RRQ, that's the perfect timing. And the reason why it works is because they've created so much pressure, cutting sound, that they could be walking up through elbow, and EDG is forced to push.
Well, suddenly, game is alive again. Pit going down over towards A. It's going to force RQ. Well, they were already on B. A little bit of a safety drone being thrown out there by nobody as well, just to make sure they have full control. And now Kung on the elbow, on the angle. This time Zan falls instantly.
In the meantime, RRQ applying pressure to B. Nobody's picked up his Hunter's Fury on the other side of the map. Kushi could go down here as well, but that's when the dash is elapsed for Kung. Overcooking it a little bit, back into a 4-on-4 now, but RRQ have got no space on the map.
कोई भी VC में बैठने बोलो क्या तो ड्रैग करेगा क्या?
हाँ ठीक है. For Kung there would have loved to have doubled up.
कृष्णा join कर ले और कोई भी VC में बैठ जा.
RRQ keeping this one going. Where are we going to TP to? Right back over towards spawn. It looks like.
भाई 6 लोग देख रहे हो फटाफट लाइक और सब्सक्राइब कर दो
जल्दी. Nobody to have to go and clear out spawn. GNE also watching spawn side here as RRQ takes some space in middle.
Mid to B is looking like at the moment. Jemkin will hold doors.
भाई स्पेस ले लिया उसने सोवा ने.
He's basically clearing through all of this elbow side.
उसको sound आ गया. गया.
Starting to run out of time here. Crazy guy. Completely unknown kill onto Jenny. And nobody can't respond here. Going for the plan now. They've completely dodged away from the Viper's pit, but Chichu still has an angle to work through. Now suddenly a 3-angle approach. EDG can work their way in as a final opportunity to plant. Is about to elapse. Hunter's Fury could be really deadly here. You need to plant now.
Hello. There's no time. Oh, they might have just got one. He's fat-fingered Hunter's Fury. He fat-fingered Hunter's Fury at 3.5 seconds. I've never seen that in my life.
जीत गई भाई EDG. GG हो गया EDG.
And now they'll never live it down.
अभी देख अभी वो तोड़ेंगे देख उसका शायद से.
A fat finger to end the entire map, to end the entire series.
उनकी की तोड़ेंगे देख.
Again, you'll call this one a close map, but that last
वो जो बीच
ending
में दिख रहा है
was about one of the worst ways you could possibly finish your run here at EWC in 2026, and now the first team to be exiting and the first team to survive the lower bracket. It's EDG winning against RRQ.
वैसे एक की होगी वो तोड़ेंगे शायद.
Time to plant or not. Maybe it's just desperation looking for the
hits.
पता नहीं अभी वो तोड़ेंगे या नहीं ये नहीं मालूम. क्योंकि तोड़ते हैं वो हमेशा.
And you just hope that you have enough time.
You just have to plant, dude.
I'm not sure which it was, but that is unbelievable.
भाई क्या
I've never seen
खेले भाई
anything like that before.
ये बल्ले के बैठ गए आप.
Well,
ये अच्छा
what a way to end, man. What a way to finish that one, Pocket.
Strong stuff at the end. Or was it? Mitch, I'm hoping we can get a replay so we can walk back through these final moments. Before we get to that, though, can we talk a little bit about round 20? Just to stay alive. I was impressed by the patience, the call from Jemkin and crew in that 2v3, the 2v2 at the very end. Why did they have to stay in the middle, though, and challenge RRQ? People were just saying, why don't you just run away from the bomb? Just hide.
भाई इसकी ओपनिंग से बहुत मस्त है यार. कल इसका ही परसों ही देखा था.
किसकी?
लवर्स रॉक की भाई क्या ऑफ करता है भाई.
कर रहा है भैंस की आगे.
Right, should we just win 9 rounds in a row? Like all it takes, it seems.
एक कौन सा वाला ये है ना स्ट्रीमे वाला है ना.
And everybody's back. Everybody's getting aggressive, pushing angles that they shouldn't.
स्ट्रीम में पे आवाज कम क्यों आ रही है?
हाँ अरे मैंने बढ़ाना पड़ा मेरे को भी.
ओ कृष्णा देख रहा है तू?
They're getting
दिख रहा है तेरे को स्ट्रीम. आवाज सही है.
Has taken way more map control than they should ever be able to get.
कॉलेज गया था नहीं आज तो छुट्टी थी शायद से.
छुट्टी थी बारिश भी हो रहा था. छुट्टी तो नहीं थी बारिश हो रहा था.
बारिश तो वैसे यहाँ पे पता नहीं क्या.
विभो तू कौन से साइड थे?
Scot free 9 times out of 10 with huge amounts of success.
विभो की तरीका पे.
ये तेरा भी लैग हुआ बीच में.
विभो तेरा आवाज बहुत कम आ रहा है क्या सीन है?
मेरे को तो आ ही नहीं रहा है विवो का आवाज.
हेलो विवो.
हाँ हेलो और रुक जा मैं चाय लेके आया.
हाँ अभी आया अभी आया. तू कौन से साइड है रे? तेरा आवाज वापस कम आ रहा है.
That's going to be a problem that you have to deal with.
माइक तू म्यूट क्यों कर रहा है? तेरा माइक से सीन है ना कुछ.
As well as I will say some
नहीं आ रहा है सही से.
were like they get hella lucky.
मैंने 200 किया है पे साढ़े तेरा आवाज.
That would have been a 2v2 with a rifle recovery.
भाई तेरा. अरे इसका आवाज आ रहा है बट बहुत कम आ रहा है.
Decided the round. For 100 Thieves, any one of those moments.
Vivo तेरा माइक चेक कर ले.
This is a much tighter.
गेम बढ़ा दे तेरे साइड से.
Difficult second half for BBL, but now 9-3. It kind of feels like a formality, especially if BBL take the pistol.
Yeah, for sure. I would say that a pistol round for 100 Thieves, in a normal case, I wouldn't be too worried that they could still do this on the defensive side. I think they've proven that.
ये Drago 100 कर रहा है. यहाँ पे तो 93 चल रहा है.
But it's just that momentum. Like that's the thing that is always most terrible.
अरे 93 कर जानबूझ के उन्होंने किया है.
अरे भाई.
When you've got LaRock, Lovers Rock, and hey, let's just say at this point, every single member of their team has highlight moments time and time again. And now looking at you to find that same sort of resilience, find that same break back that they have shown. Well, a pistol round, a chance to bring it back to 9-5. And as said, like from what we've seen over the last 3 times BBO played this map, they have managed maximum 2 attack side rounds. So a pistol round would genuinely get them halfway there.
भाई क्या बैठा है वो? अरे भाई अबे इसमें साउंड नहीं आ रहा है
गई पहला 100 टीम जीती
35 HP as he fades away
ए तुम लोग को साउंड आ रहा है क्या गन का
one man down already lots of damage done
मेरे को तो नहीं आ रहा है
yes that's the same
नहीं आ रहा जस्ट कमेंट्री दे रहे हैं ना
अबे नहीं
अभी आ रहा है
थोड़ा थोड़ा आ रहा है ज्यादा नहीं आ रहा है
अपना कमेंट्री वो लोग देते तो बंद कर देते
अच्छा
अबे नहीं बे पागल है क्या हमारे
हाँ हमारे इसमें था
अच्छा हो जा रहा था
कुछ तो ग्लिच हुआ था अभी तो आ रहा है ना
अबे नहीं मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि पहले वाली स्ट्रीम पे बहुत सही आ रहा था साउंड वाउंड और स्ट्रीम पे नहीं आ रहा है
Yeah, they're going to go all the way back around.
इसपे लग रहा है वो लोग कमेंट्री का वॉल्यूम ज्यादा कर दिया गेम का वॉल्यूम कम कर
दिया अबे हमें कमेंट्री का भी आवाज कम ही लग रहा है वैसे
into that spawn position.
सारी आवाज कम लग रहा है
Definitely got some doubts.
नहीं
but do you check to your right? That could be the defining factor of this round. He gets the kill onto Rose, and maybe it turns, but no, why would he?
काट दे
अरे नहीं यार
अरे यार काटना चाहिए था भाई
towards the heavens though, make things interesting. A nice shot that drops the spike.
ए तू मेरी डिस्कॉर्ड स्ट्रीम देख रहा है ना कृष्णा
If he could deny it, maybe that'll be enough to win the round instead. Does he know the second
हाँ
player
हाँ
is
तेरा ही
there?
देख रहा
He
हूँ
does, and while falling gets the
डिस्कॉर्ड
kill.
स्ट्रीम देख रहा है क्या स्ट्रीम देख रहा है
Discord
Left all on to bang, but it's LaRock again. This man does not want to lose today.
भाई 100 trees और सेंटिनल का क्या ये रहता था भाई पहले
chance that LaRock's dropping the ball. You have got to be quick on the trigger, or he is taking you out.
Bang भी उन लोग के सेंटिनल का ही था ना
I think it was one hit to the sheriff on the rounding of the corner as well. A lot of damage done in that initial fight.
C9 में चले गया
for BBL. That round win.
अबे 10 आ रहा है
It's fairly damning.
उसका देखने का है टीम कनाडा से
should have next to no chance of coming back into
उसको
this
तो
one.
आना ही
Like winning
था
the pistol, it's a long road ahead of you.
अगर वो वहाँ पे अच्छा किया तो शायद से वो वापस से आ सकते कमबैक कर सकते
अरे ट्रैप को तो मुंबई स्पोर्ट्स वाले बुला रहे हैं
अरे ट्रैप का मुंबई स्पोर्ट देखना है मेरा क्लिप देख लेना ट्रैप का क्लिप डाला हो
लैंग्वेज
गली स्पोर्ट भी नहीं देखेगी
They've got the players on the right side.
पूरी मैगजीन खाली किया है बंदे पे पर बंदा नहीं मरा क्लासिक से मरा था
अबे वो क्या भाग के गया है भाई मैं क्या करूं
Gonna get it one way or another it seems and it's gonna plant.
अबे BBL बहुत अच्छी टीम है भाई
squeaky clean only one player lost the Marshall immediately retrieved and
EME के बेस्ट टीम में से एक है भाई ये
unless they've got one hell of a streak. This one is looking like we're going to a third.
And again, you saw at the end as you said,
coming
through.
Oh, Krishna.
So we still we're one away from a showstopper coming into the next round. And that is going to be devastating considering how on the ball LaRock has already been.
कब होगा टाइमिंग देखना पड़ेगा ना
Wednesday और Saturday.
Like the showstopper last half was pretty impactful.
Wednesday and Saturday.
I imagine.
नहीं Wednesday नहीं शायद Thursday और Saturday
जिम है जिम के बाद अगर बोलेगा
Thursday और Saturday
Thursday और Saturday 8:30 से 9:30 के बीच एक गेम
Everyone's got everything that they need.
जिम में बैठा हूँगा मैं
अबे यार तेरे को ले लेते फिर
ये गया
हमारा टीम का नेम टीम टीटीज है
And of course, a man who
ओए वाइड डार्क पार्टी
right now is LaRock.
ट्रोल आर्मी है बट हमारा #TTS है
100 teams have to make a decision, and that decision is made for them. They're being
तो सोच रहा हूँ हाँ
they brought it back at least a little bit. Heal will be there for Bang. And honestly, although this is a plant and a man down at this scoreline,
अच्छा
अबे फैंटम ही चलाते हैं भाई पता नहीं
There's no saving, yeah.
अमेरिका में
Maybe
तो
we
सब
can win
फैंटम
9
ही
in a
चलाते हैं
row. Not often going to work for LaRock. He's securing the round. He's making sure even if they do cancel this retake, there will be no opportunity to carry those weapons through to the next round.
देख के डर गए होंगे वैंडल छोड़ दिए अब
Certainly with two players.
इतने जल्दी वायरल हो गया
देख वैंडल पकड़ते मर गया
It's going to be an attempt to just stick
भाई
वैंडल पकड़ते मरा
Finally, the
वो
sticks
1v1
coming
है
through, but it should be too little too late. The time.
ओबे जीत गए नहीं
देखा वैंडल पकड़ते ही मरा
भाई 2-3
ओ भाई क्या निकाला है
I played with them as well in Valorant. Nice.
ट्रैप का भी वैंडल स्किल देख लोगे ना तुम लोग छोड़ दोगे
तेरी ऐसी की तेरी साला
White
कितना आराम
बंदे।
से
तो गेम ही नहीं खेल रहा ट्रैप को देख के
प्रमोशन कर रहा है भाई खुद के रील का यहाँ पे बैठ के
win the pistol in second round, and then you win the
भाई वो
bonus.
देख क्या
By the
खड़ा
way, in the
क्या
last
सैचल मार के मारा उसे
था दे जगह थी दे इसको घूमने
they've
के
actually managed to achieve.
भाई वो
And
मार
they've only
सकता था
played,
रेस को
वही।
3 of them. So yeah, I think a squad
But I am
that has
better than
hit
him,
their stride at
trust.
the perfect
Okay,
moment. 100
got it.
thieves on their own map choice have gone completely missing. But you know what, Mitch?
भाई वो 25 kill मार चुका है रेज.
You always say that.
Nine rounds down.
You always say that. You know, let the opponent hit 12,
Look,
call your pause.
I learned my lesson.
Love it.
All gamers
Time out liya kya?
that even if you're chasing against map point, you need to win, was it 7 rounds in a row? Sometimes you take a pause and you win 6. Or maybe in this time, take a pause and now win 9. The music
अभी तो comeback possible ही नहीं है.
You started to believe in your own BS. I love that.
Fanatic नहीं है भाई ये लोग.
It was a stun from Lovers
Rock. guys 10 मिनट में मैं जाऊंगा but मेरा स्ट्रीम चालू रहेगा.
किधर जा रहा है?
कमेंट्री कर. अरे थोड़ा काम है. जाके आता हूँ मार्केट में.
Lovers Rock doesn't even care. He ran past him and said,
कैमरा बंद कर सकते हैं, नहीं कर सकते ना. मैनुअल में लिखा था.
activated up into heaven.
नहीं बंद कर
So clean.
मैं भी बीच-बीच में करता हूँ.
From BBL, and this is a team that has looked very disjointed at times because they play aggressive.
कैमरा दिखना चाहिए उसका वो बस बंद कर दूंगा तो ये क्या ही.
But in this situation,
अर्जेंट आएगा तो थोड़ी ना कैमरा चालू करके चले जाओ.
12-3 and 9 round.
कोई हिलाता रहा पता चला.
लैंग्वेज.
माउस हिलाता रहा माउस.
ए विभव तू भी बोला कर भाई. हरामी एक नंबर का.
माउस हिलाता रहा.
गाली मत दे भाई.
सब लोग बोलेंगे तो मेजॉरिटी के हिसाब से हारना चाहिए.
गाली मत दे भाई, मेरे को ऑफेंसिव लगता है.
Need to know about how this game is going.
और माँ की आग तो बोल भी मत.
नॉर्मलाइज मत कर बे.
भाई वो लोग तो बोलते थे तब नहीं बोलता था तू. अब मैं बोल रहा हूँ तुम्हें को बोल रहा है.
The teams came looking to see if they could steal this youngster away.
नॉर्मलाइज मत कर.
He has the potential
भाई ये क्या रोटेट कर रहे
हैं? One of the best players in the world.
अगर वो आज पार्टी पे आ गया जो मजे ले रहे वाला हुआ है.
Exactly
वो लोग उसका स्ट्रीम देखा हो.
Even still though, Rose going walkabouts will be lost. I think for 100 Thieves, even just not losing 13 rounds in a row would probably help out the mental a little bit.
लड़कियों को.
They've taken that pause. They've got some inspiring, or I hope inspiring words.
अच्छा इनका ये है क्या? Save round?
I don't
नहीं,
think they
save
get
round
the
तो
music
नहीं है.
tone. So
It'll
have to be the
अबे
speech
but
will have
last
to be a
game
bit better
100
without
ने
that back
comeback
track.
किया
They
इसमें.
forcing him into the
ओ भाई मारा. ओ भाई वो रेस कुछ अलग ही खेल रहा है.
I said it, bro. I feel like we need to check his drivers. Something's been installed.
We need to check his drivers.
Yes, like that.
I've not seen in a long time.
क्या रोटेट मारा है देख.
He's got the whole power
साला
plant loaded
पूरा
in.
कल परसों भी ये लवर्स रॉक नियॉन खेला है. आज भी नियॉन ही.
अरे भाई.
अरे भाई 3
भाई
मार
क्या मार
दिए.
रहा है.
ट्रेड ले रहा है.
We saw it 5 rounds into the last match.
अरे भाई.
That we don't see all
Banks
too
पर
often.
आ रहा है.
And a good game.
ट्रैप आया.
और
ये ट्रैप आया.
They rely on the rock. I thought the game was
भाई
वो कुछ भी मार रहा है.
भाई क्या मारा वो.
वो कुछ भी मार रहा है भाई.
Decimation on map number 2. BBL battled and brawled on the first map. But the second was a straight execution.
एक वो जीते एक ये जीते. अभी एक और इसके बाद है.
भाई मेरे को VIT वर्सेस एनर्जी देखना था यार.
अबे वो तो 7 बजे चालू होगा ना. 7:15 पे.
एक अभी कौन सा मैच है रे?
अभी यही चलेगा.
PRX का एक मैच है और एक
आज रात को है ना 7:30 को.
7:30 को
भाई मैं आऊंगा PRX का देखने.
मैं तो VIT वर्सेस एनर्जी देखने वाला.
ये डबल रोड कौन है?
tournament right
कौन?
now.
Toblerone, हाँ.
There is going to be a third map. Honestly, I think the break is going to be taken by 100 Thieves just to try and completely
टाइम आउट देने का काम करो उसको. वो वैसे ही खाते हैं. खाते रहते हैं वो.
Absolutely, and one man that I love to bully is Degon. Take it away, baby.
Any attention from you, Mitch, is always great. Great call so far in the 1-1 as BBL comes
अभी क्या है?
भाई जेंटलमैन्स क्यों नहीं है?
1-1 स्कोर का 5 मिनट का
बंद कर दूं क्या?
5 मिनट का ब्रेक है. इसके बाद एक और मैच है ना इन लोग का. 1-1 का स्कोर हुआ. 2-0 का होता तो जीत जाते थे लोग. एक मैच और होगा अभी. मैं YouTube पे देखूंगा.
भाई VCD के कास्टर्स लाओ यार इसमें इनमें वो मजा नहीं.
Team of professional guys. My goodness.
Tyler as well.
He also gonna be Tyler.
Depends on the day.
Yeah, true. BBL came and did not care whose name was on the other side. LaRock popped off here.
I mean, they got LaRocked. It's that simple. Yep. That was an insane performance from him. Absolutely unbelievable. He ends 29-8 in a 13-3. That's
phenomenal. You don't
भाई
see
one
numbers
side
like
carry
that.
कर रहा है
But to
भाई
do it on
बंदा
100 Thieves
वही
map
तो।
choice as
ये
well.
कृष्णा
Coming
करता
into
है
this,
हमारे
we
साथ।
said this is going to be tough for them. Wow, it's going to be a
हाँ,
difficult
कृष्णा।
mountain to
अबे
climb.
देखो
100
carry
Thieves
नहीं
been so
करते लोग,
good,
देखो
BBL been so
घसीटते।
bad here. But
चल
that doesn't
हमारे
even
साथ।
matter when they play like this.
They didn't stand a chance, did they? I
it
think
wasn't
that first half, how easy things were
अबे इसको
being
ले
for
लेते
Lovers
पता है
Rock
ये भी
with the
खेलता है बट ये
operator,
साला
how
जिम जाएगा
seamless
वो।
it was
डंडा है
for
है
LaRock,
टबले
for
चिंदी
Loita, for Rose, for
और
all of them.
भाई बोलो लिल्ली भाई क्या सीन है
वो लिल्ली को मेरे स्ट्रीम पे भेज वो लुल्लू उधर आ
आज के गेम में
लिल्लू नहीं आएगी डिस्कॉर्ड
डिस्कॉर्ड ने स्ट्रीम पे भेज मेरे
लाडले
वो तो आ जाएगी वैसे
मेरे स्ट्रीम का लिंक
क्या
भेज
मेरे नीचे बैठ के तू मेरे को ज्ञान दे रहा है
क्या बड़बड़ा रहा है
खेत खोदना
भाई वो ओपन का ब्लाइंड देगा
It just can't get more dominant than
इसको
this.
चुप
Realistically,
बेटा।
I love how they approach this
ए
defending
भाई
side.
मैंने
It is so
modification किया
aggressive.
उसमें।
They're
वो
always
BBL
बोलना
for
भी
the
नहीं।
win,
down
for the win,
They're
yes.
pushing, they're flanking, they're making things difficult. 100 Thieves tried to have that slower, more of a controlled style to their comps. but
भाई
it couldn't
शेरिफ को
work
क्या
here
चलती है
elsewhere.
भाई
And there's
लोगों की।
something also that is very
और ऊपर
important.
से
Do
वो
you
आयन
remember that
शरीफ
on map 1
हाँ
when we're
ना।
speaking about the Viper and working
तेरे
around the
जितने भी बात
Viper
देखा
wall
मैंने
and
आयन
what
शरीफ
that
ही
gives
देखा
you,
हूँ
it really, you can really tell that in EMEA we still run a lot of the
अबे लोग
Viper
क्या
here
flash
on
dodge
split.
करते
भाई
हैं।
Because on many
आयन
of those occasions,
और
you could see
सिंगुलैरिटी ये दोनों ही
BBL
चलती
using
है भाई
100 Thieves wall, Viper wall against them and taking
देखना
advantage
क्या
of
मारा है
what it
उसको
was
भाई
bringing out for them. And you know,
वो
really,
रेज ही मारा था
I
वे
wonder though
आयो।
how the mental state is for 100 Thieves going on to Haven, because as Tom was saying, this was their mapping.
ये
They
देख।
decided to go to
वो देख,
Haven.
वो देख।
They
खेलोगे
thought
क्या
that
अभी?
this is where they could have an easier
वैलो खेलने
time
गया
against
बट अभी
BBL.
एक मैच
And
बाकी
we're
है बे।
absolutely
एक मैच के
blown
बाद
out.
खेलेंगे
No
मैं आ
more
जाऊँ
हाँ।
आधे
Look at
घंटे
that.
में।
What is
Because
that?
the aggression
What
was
is that?
nonstop.
LaRock is hitting every shot and you just and you
चल मैं थोड़ा एक
just-
ब्रेक
you just
मारता हूँ
open the
फटफट
wall.
हाँ पता है
हाँ
तेरा
तो 5
ब्रेक
by
मिनट का
one.
ले सकते
हाँ।
हो।
तेरे को तो पता ही है भाई तो क्यों बोल रहा तू
This team is just so fun to watch when they play like this. It's spectacular looking.
पावर लेके आया
Valorant
फटफट
just
में
lit
चलो,
up
bye
this
bye, आता हूँ
server,
आधे घंटे
and
में
it's
तुम
so
लोग
hard when
संभाल
there's an
लेना थोड़ा।
absolute Goliath
Yep.
on the other side. It just feels like you can't play. You feel so restricted, even when they're in these good situations. These advantages,
मारा है
BBL always found a way to swing it in their favor.
It is almost insulting. Like at that point, it's like LaRock had plot armor, had triple
LaRock
plot
had
armor in
plot
so
armor.
many of those situations. The margin is so tiny, so it's like the spike going off. They know there's only one. Like turning around the man disadvantage is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, 21 plus 21 in the 29 and 8 there for LaRock.
That's more than years he has.
Kind of
Years
not-
old he is.
yeah, again,
Lol.
right? It just shows how good that performance was. And 100 Thieves on the opposite side, they've got to go ahead and bounce back. I think it's just tough when you have a performance like that. Asuna and the boys got to figure it out here because they were the ones that did not opt for that double duelist that BBL did. And you're thinking, okay, you know, we should be fine with it. Okay, we lose some
Brody, ये game
rounds. We
खेल
got
के
it
आएगा।
at the start. Maybe once we're on defense,
अच्छा, ये तो
never
गया
got
ना
it going.
बैंडा।
Never got it going. Those 13 in a row
Heaven है
will
भाई
be a
next।
nice feather in the
It was
cap for
fun.
BBL.
Decider है ना?
Head on over to map
decider।
number 3. Haven coming up next. Winner qualifies the playoffs here for EWC 2026. Don't go anywhere. We'll have that final map after this short break.
कृष्णा तू कब जा रहा है EWC में?
अरे मैं जाके आ भी गया भाई तुम लोग क्या कर रहे हो
अबे मैं जा रहा था यार बट मेरा पासपोर्ट नहीं बन पाया वरना मैं भी जाता।
अबे
Hello everybody and welcome. We have got Rose and
मेरे को बुला रहे
Voyager
थे
here
लोग।
for a little game. We are going to
PRX
let
वाले
them
बोल रहे थे
choose
जिंग
from a
अच्छा नहीं
bunch
खेल
of
रहा तू आ
10
जा।
sprays in their hands to respond to a bunch of prompts. If they both choose the same spray, they get a point and their synergy goes up. All right, boys, are you ready?
Yes.
Yep. Fantastic. Let's get the first one done. How would you react if I told you you've got to be up tomorrow at 5 a.m.?
Okay, wait. Let me think.
And now look at each other's.
I was thinking maybe I should.
को वैलो का टाइम ना बुला लियो मेरे को कॉल मार दो मैं थोड़ा मेरा मूड ऑफ है मैं बैठ रहा हूं
ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है। जा रहा है क्या?
चला गया वो
Still in bed.
पता नहीं क्या सीन
इसको करना इसका जॉइन वगैरह
सॉरी का डिस्कॉर्ड का ही सीन।
Mine is ready too.
Yours is
नहीं
ready
नहीं
too.
सबका ही
All
सीन
right,
है
boys, please
नहीं,
show the camera
अलग
what you
Discord
chose.
पे आ जाता
And now let's take a look at each other's. There's a first one on the board.
First point.
How would you feel if you got here? You arrived to Paris, you're waiting at the luggage belt, and you're
Loita.
Oh, it's a very similar vibe. Take a look. It's a similar vibe.
Like, guys, I don't wanna like use bug for this game. I don't wanna choose this one every time, you know?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Loita, stop it.
Okay.
How did you feel when you first found out that Neon was going to be nerfed?
I found it. Yeah, me too.
Show the camera how you felt. And now take a look at each other. Let's go, boys.
Yeah, finally, Riot, finally. Oh.
How would you react if you asked somebody to drop you in a buy round? You want a Vandal, but they give you a Sheriff. Oh, take a look.
NT.
Sage comes in and revives you, but you're in the sight lines of two enemies. Lock it in, boys. Show the camera what you've chosen. And now show each other. On the board.
Brimstone is like me. This team.
Yeah. If you make it to a grand final of an international event and you see your opponent is Paper Rex.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. Oh no! Rose just had that! He just put it back!
No way!
Alright, you're about to go into an official match.
पेपर एक्स के लिए भाई ये लोग ये कर रहे हैं भाई कि अच्छा है क्योंकि वो लोग हमेशा हारते हैं.
I think this one is obvious again.
केसी के साथ तो easily जीत जाएगा.
Ooh, take a look.
Come on,
Rose.
Come on,
I knew Rose wasn't gonna like that. Alright, boys, for the next one. You're in scrims.
Yes.
There's a quiet moment. Just outside your headset, you hear that one of your teammates just farted. How do you react?
You should know that.
भाई लोग क्या बच्चे वाले सवाल पूछ रहे हैं भाई अच्छे सवाल.
Now show each other.
Yes,
Let's go. You were doubting yourself.
Yes.
You're on the finish line. You're gonna turn back, bro. How do you feel when you find out that next up, you've got a content piece with Janiro?
I'm ready.
Okay?
I'm ready too.
Boys, please show the camera.
This one.
And show each other. Well done.
Yes, half an hour, as I said.
Crazy.
Welcome back to EWC 2026. Here in our first qualifier match of Group A, we're going the distance all the way to Haven between BBL and 100 Thieves. Degon here alongside Kakuka and Big Time. And first one, a little tight, went to overtime. Second one, stomped by BBL 13 rounds in a row after dropping the first 3. I feel like it's so hard to try and predict what's going to happen here.
Yeah, I mean, I think for BBL, they'll be feeling so good. Obviously, when you come off a huge momentum win like that, it feels amazing. It's also because it's so reminiscent of their previous series against EDG, of they lose that Lotus, then they steal their opponent's map pick, and we saw them win that map 3. They know that they've been there, done that, so I think they'll be on cloud 9 right now.
I still want to see what is it that BBL is going to do with Haven, because back in EMEA we had the situation, right? We kind of like all agreed the breach was not going to be played. All of us but BBL, right? And then LaRock was playing the breach there on that map. It worked for a couple of times just because LaRock is just so incredibly good, and also because it allowed Lovers Rock to just play Jet the way that he wanted to. But they know, I think, and they've gotten to the conclusion that things need to change, they need to evolve, they need to move forward, most importantly. So really looking forward to see what is in this Haven. Again, the preparation for what is remaining of the year is the most important thing for all of the teams.
Look, for me, if I see LaRock after that performance go pick breach, I will unplug his PC myself. That's unacceptable for this. I want to see him on the duelist. I want to see him be aggressive. I want to see him use his momentum, not stand there holding a stun. That's no good for anybody.
And also, what is happening on the other side? I know that during the qualifier, they were using a different composition. I saw that Cryo was playing with the chamber. I'd be very down for that.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be having some very good chambers.
As you brought up earlier, this is their first loss across EWC qualifiers and now here at the main event. So kind of wonder, are you glass cannon where you do great when things are going great? How do you deal with adversity? How do you deal when you drop a game? Because this is a team that is full of potential, hasn't fully realized it to the level that you'd expect.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. But I will say, yes, they've been on a very good run throughout EWC, but 100 Thieves are not unfamiliar with the concept of losing. They've been familiar with the concept of losing. To lose in the past, and they've been able to bounce back. So it's not the end of the road for them by any means.
I don't know if that was Pacific U or EMEA U, but that was definitely not America's U. They're big time.
That doesn't exist. That does not exist. Where's the? I want to see China.
We'll
get there eventually. Maybe on another series. For the side of 100 Thieves, I still think it is way better to lose 13-3 as in like listen.
Last year
battling for an hour. We tried everything. Swing rounds went one way or another. No, listen. Okay, the map just happened. We only need to focus on Haven. Think about that Lotus. Think about that. The way that you control the map. 3 sides. Just need to treat it the same way. But the question is, going to be the same. What are you going to be facing up against?
Yeah, I mean, for me, for 100 Thieves, I really want to see Cryo run this chamber, man. He's been so good at this agent for a long time. A real signature for him, and bringing it out on Haven is a real nice fit.
And something that worked very, very well against RRQ, who by the way is already on their way home.
Yep.
Was the Phoenix with Asuna.
Yeah.
And he should be playing, you know, if they keep going. Asuna would also be on that Phoenix. Still, to me, the bigger question stands. Are BBL just going to run what they were running in the qualifier that was Jet Phoenix with LaRock playing the Phoenix and just run it like that?
Yeah, there we go.
Looks like it is.
Got it coming in. This is much better. I'm happy to see LaRock on a Phoenix and not a breach. I would have punched the monitor. But over on the side of 100 Thieves, still waiting for the final picks to come in.
No, Cryo, come on. I understand that you kind of think of this team and you think of a stopping power, seriously, any stopping power, maybe a way to gather that information. 3 out of 3 maps. BBL starting on the defense, and it's been looking so good for them. Definitely the favorite side for them so far in the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, look, I understand if they want to swap Cryo to this Cypher, it makes sense. It's good against that Neon and the Phoenix. No verticality there. It's also get information on those defender side pushes.
Same agent
but it doesn't mean you're losing it on that firepower. His chamber is electric, and I can't help but feel like 100 Thieves need a hero.
All
that I'm looking for here is the middle balls. That's what I want to see round after round to see who comes out on top.
Mirror match in terms of composition. Asuna Sage on the last map, specific display.
Sunset
onto the Phoenix. He and the rest of 100 Thieves try to continue their successful ways against BBL, who have been on fire. So easy on the eyes to watch with their gameplay. Let's see how they do it with 3 different sides to attacks on Haven. For the call on our final map here, let's send it back on over to Tom and Mitch.
Easy on the eyes, Tom. Funny, that's how I describe Dingon, but it's time to get into this matchup. Map number 3, after a dominant bounce back from BBL with the backbreaker on split, now there's an opportunity for this to be the saving grace of this series. After a shaky start on their first map, where BBL, they were 4-0 down, they bounced back, and it was resurgence after resurgence, only for it to end in 100 Thieves' hands in overtime. But after a dominant map win, the question now that you said you never asked of BBL, can they bounce back from a loss like that? We now ask of 100 Thieves. That was their choice. They lost 13 rounds in a row.
Yeah, I think what we will have seen in the break is not going to be about strategy coming into this map or like the plan or what you can do to beat BBL. It's mostly going to be about making sure that the team are reset and ready and raring to go, because to go 3-0 up and lose 13-3 the first pick did go the way of 100 Thieves, but look at the HP. It's going to be at least Asuna able to heal himself up a little bit, but they're walking into an aggressive position from Freven. Feel like he needs maybe slightly more than one, but he's played it so well. He's past. He looks the player a little bit deeper. The next one should be for free, though. Now the smokes are gone. Players already in position. And this pistol round looking a little risky.
Timing.
I couldn't believe when I saw him stood on the edge of the ledge. I thought there's no way.
I thought he was going to wait for his teammate, not just jump.
The thing was, the timing could not have been better. The second that he dropped, his opponent turned away. Look, Asuna, at the literal second that emerges from the smoke. Asuna has just turned to look at the spawn, and so Rose gets a double for free. 3 in the pistol for the IGL, and well, we had our conversations about slow starts from Rose. Anything but that. Lights out in the pistol, and that's 14 rounds in a row for BBL now. When you think about that last map. For 100 Thieves, this probably isn't where they have that road to recovery well paved. Coming in with just pistols, a very light buy, and even two kills is now getting. Oh, this is getting spooky.
ये क्या मारा?
They've made it interesting, that's for sure. Lovers Rock's position has gone completely under the radar. And, well, eventually, he is going to be dealt with. An incredibly costly round, but now it even gets to a point of an opportunity. Craven there to save the day, make sure that one doesn't get too far out of control. And although it's incredibly costly and a good round, it's still a round for BBL. And I kind of want to give you a little bit of information. You know what's good about being in the venue, being around the players? Sometimes you bump into them, maybe on your way to the bathroom. One of them, who was running, as he does in-game as well, was Lovers Rock. And as he ran past me, he went, how was that, watching the best player in the world? Talking about his teammate in LaRock, obviously.
Yes.
And my response was, are you sure he's not cheating?
अभी slow खेलेंगे शायद से नहीं अभी तो buy round है ना अभी घुसेंगे इसके बाद अगर ये हारे तो slow खेलेंगे
29 kills. I don't think he's had to do anything yet.
भाई नहीं
भाई ऑपरेटर भाई
नहीं हक दिया
क्या कर रहा है?
That's the op in this buy. I just don't know what I'm watching sometimes.
He's not the best player in the world in this team, was
They go from being such a well-oiled machine, 13 rounds in a row with, yes, some shakier performances, but a lot of aggression that was tempered on Split. We talked about how different Split and Lotus aggression is because there's less space, there's less avenues, and this time he shift rolls through a smoke with an op. Yeah, listen. Decent damage, all things considered. What is this guy? Lloyd has LaRock got his hand on his mouse. The wrap around now, 30 HP. A chance to make this close. That's 3 kills already.
टाइमिंग हो गई
अरे भाई देखा नहीं इसने
नहीं मैप में दिखता तो बता दे उसको
अबे नहीं लेकिन उसका वो तो दिखा
नहीं दिखा
वेपन
The streak of 15 has come to an end.
Oh yeah, that's the
इतना notice नहीं होता उसके हाथ में वैसे भी phantom
थी. The beginning of the round and then just basically were like,
ये देखना नियॉन ने क्या किया इधर.
Give Loiter a chance.
Lovers Rock.
That one out because they just got wrecked in the initial phase and then this guy
Cypher अगर वो निकालता ना
wall banging players with a sheriff,
like
individual. But yeah, I genuinely, it does feel like it's important. If they had lost that round, I would have basically just called this series done. Instead, there's some vulnerabilities on the other side, but they actually don't need the operator in this round because of the fact that so many players died. There's now light shields on 4 of the 5.
You know, we've seen things.
Now,
speaker पे कौन दिख रहा है? Enemy lines with 3 players.
डबल आवाज आ रहा है.
Drago का mic है.
ये Drago रुक जा 1 मिनट.
भाई.
In an awkward position.
Drago इधर है तू?
The first man past the trap, good kill. Cryo falling means the trap now gone. Backup coming as well.
उसको body cover ही नहीं दिया किसी ने.
He was about to take that fight on short, but realizes he has to group with his
team. अभी नहीं आएगा देख.
No safe haven to fight from. Down below in hell.
Oh, hug diya.
They've got trouble for Timotino.
Oh,
but stuck in the backside, surrounded.
अरे वापस आ रहा है आवाज.
That's a huge round from Timotino. Right when they needed it most. Pressure from all sides, but he fights back on every front.
Yeah, he's jumping up, celebrating as well. He's getting I think they need to. That's one of those ones where it felt like it was slipping away from them. The fact that again, Loiter, he actually catches.
इसको Drago को mute दे दे थोड़ी देर.
And it looked like that round was about to crumble away up until Timotino clutches it out, brings it home, and levels them up.
अभी नहीं आ रहा है वो चिल्लाते हैं ना तभी आता है.
Streak of rounds.
मेरे माइक से क्योंकि लीक होती है कभी-कभी.
But you always have to be careful versus those
lineup
we saw it. The way they started that streak.
Lineup नहीं था वो साले. Normal
क्या था वो?
उसका lineup है पता है तेरे को.
इसको देख.
Isn't shying away from a fight.
भाई क्यों जा रहा है इतने आगे लोग?
अभी A तो A main का कंट्रोल तो हट गया इनसे. वो नियॉन बाकी है बस वहाँ पे.
We often write home about these rounds for BDL, about players like Kratos, the attempt to spam the drone going through.
मैं बोला ना एक
considering they're
बाय राउंड के बाद बहुत स्लो
spreading out like this, playing the default, it's not somewhere I'm anticipating a lot of impact.
यहाँ पे एक पिक निकालेंगे और फिर भाग जाएंगे.
ट्रैप देने से आवाज आ रहा है.
But it doesn't get the
मेरे
reveal
को
off
खुद
in
आवाज
time,
आ
so
रहा
no
है.
punish, and now the reveal in the corner leaves Kraven isolated and dealt with. Lloyd dove on in the backside.
उसको म्यूट दे दिया, देखते हैं अभी.
Not a whole lot to work with when it comes to this round. In general, you see how quickly they crumble in the heads-up duels.
आ रही है आवाज मेरे से, बता.
नहीं अभी नहीं आ रही, वो ट्रैकर को म्यूट दिया.
वही तो मैं बोल रहा हूँ.
ओरे भाई खाया.
Even easier, but
अबे.
gets a chance
Why
to
timing,
a
bhai?
little more costly on the exits if he wants. I do think though, as this round goes on, 100 Thieves are just going to leave if it comes down to it. They're not going to be baited into going down to the spike or anything like that. So in terms of actually getting damage, it will be difficult.
ओरे भाई.
That's a good start. No one else one shot though.
क्या सेव कर रहा है ये?
Marshall.
Waiting to try and.
नहीं वो बाद में आके मरेगा देख. Spike में आके मरेगा.
You know that 100 Thieves want those orbs. Arsenal in particular. It's
Oh,
a little bit close for comfort, but he is going to get that extra orb towards the Phoenix ult.
भाई Phoenix को और मत दो भाई.
Looking like already they're back. 3 rounds in a row. Seeming a lot more comfortable
Phoenix को और मत
on Haven.
दो, लाड लो.
And again, another map where we have seen some struggles.
देख ओमन का blind देख भाई क्या काम
I would say that going into this map, it is intriguing that both
और एक तेरा blind
and Haven were in
जो
there.
हम लोग अपने को ही blind देता है.
In one avenue that Split, clearly they put some work in, and also if The Rock, I think hits the highest.
ओमन ने उसके पीछे बैठा है.
Which is actually pretty close.
वे भाई वो लोग कैसे बैठते हैं
बता दो.
वो Phoenix का लाइनअप देखा पॉली वाला.
अरे भाई.
Oh, nice early aggression from the defensive side. This is what we were waiting to see.
Oh,
in previous maps, it took them a while to pull it out, and now a full-on blitz of mid has left 100 Thieves scratching their heads. They looked a little bit overwhelmed by what just.
अबे ये लोग ने ये क्यों ऑन रखा है भाई? सालों ने एड्स ऑन रखी है.
Split second in any of the players' minds. Like, should I fall back? No, it's like we have committed to whatever the play is. I think it makes Rose's job as an IGL easier in circumstances like that. Not easier overall, because sometimes his players just decide to swing everyone. But in a round where you plan to push, everybody is on the same page. Early fake being sold by the attacking side. But with the trips not being hit, that ruse, well, it is going to give them Rose. Rose goes looking, and there was a rotation coming back from other players. In fact, the question will be, will Lovers Rock be there in time? No, the Molotov will deny.
All crucial time in the first plan with the Hunter's Fury online, and Asova sitting towards long with his back protected as well. This becomes a very difficult round for BBL. Dealing with the first players on site will be one thing. As long as Bora isn't peeking right now, he's giving a chance.
Too
many chances to walk away with the kills. Now the trap down already. Flank will be coming straight from the spawn. Heads up to the Rock now on the flank around. Timotino had no idea there was a player behind him. They've managed to section this down to just Hunter's Fury. Practically useless at this point.
God.
Corner, he's pulled 1v1, but that flash saved the day. With the Rock having just enough time here to take this one across the line. It will be 4-3 in favor of BBL. The lead just about maintained.
Yeah, real nice try from Vor in that late round scenario, right? Using the Hunter's Fury there would have almost definitely been his demise, being stuck in the corner, and he would have basically needed to kill both of them with it within a second, but especially considering how this started. Like the swing back in gave them that additional little bit of space. I think Lovers Rock does well in this round, but again, it's the response found by BBL. Lead extended, the 3-round gap, or blip. Look at what's left in the hands of the attacking side. And the thing is, Lovers Rock knows it. His sniper is in hand for that exact reason, although he has missed one of the players, but there is a drone. Is the drone problem?
Looks like they're going to commit to that fight. Cancels drone out.
Oh my God!
Is the one to take Timotino down. The man who has been reliable in those fights.
दोनों ये सेम ही प्लेयर थे अग्गू.
For 100 Thieves, a good chance in garage to set up the cage immediately activated.
वो देख उसका साइबर ही फ्लैश हो गया.
Catching Kraven, but that's neither here nor there. This is
oh my god.
It connected a W already.
Oh my god.
Look at that. He couldn't see a damn thing.
अरे भाई
तेरा लेट चल रहा है
क्या खेल रहे हैं बे लोग
हाँ इसका 5 सेकंड लेट चल रहा
इसका तेरा मेरा
shots. I was like, he's going to run it in with a shorty. Well,
I
didn't realize he's going to do exactly the same thing out of the door. So I left him with nowhere to go.
तू कहाँ देख रहा है? Twitch या YouTube?
YouTube.
अच्छा इसलिए.
Some more rounds.
तू का Twitch पे देख रहा है?
हाँ Twitch पे देख रहा हूँ.
अबे Twitch पे ऐड आते रहे.
एक भी नहीं है.
It really does feel that sometimes like, you want to have those pauses called just to try and break the momentum of BBL. They start getting cocky, confident, taking space away from you that they definitely shouldn't be able to get consistently. But then I also feel that there's the other side of the coin. That the second you take the point, BBL go, we got him. We are in their heads.
ये Vivo को पहले समझ में आ रहा है सब कुछ.
That they are feeling the pressure.
वही जो तू देख रहा है.
I almost feel like the next round's going to be
YouTube पे
even more
देखोगे रुक जा.
YouTube पे तो देख रहा है तू.
It has worked. It has worked.
Twitch पे अबे Twitch पे चल जाएगा ना. YouTube पे तो ऐड नहीं लगते.
It is feast or famine for these guys, and often the table is plentifully filled.
मेरा तो सही चल रहा है. मैं तो इसके साथ ही हूँ.
There's no reason
YouTube पे भी.
To change it up.
5 seconds में क्या ही फर्क पड़ता है.
4 players towards the C site at the start of the round. Now you will not see this very often. This will be an immediate push down, and what we can see.
हाँ रे 5 सेकंड लेट है भाई इस पे.
2 players outside the C site, one of which has the spike. BBL are pacey on this. They could already set themselves up for success in the round. In fact, they're waiting. They're waiting for
इसमें quality आ रही है बे.
Oh my god.
Oh
my god.
The TP was stuck into the backside, and no one was paying attention. He's flown under the radar. He's emerged from the shadows and become a nightmare for BBL. Already. That means that Lloyd is completely isolated. Trapped on long. Yes, he has the spike, but he's got some hungry mouths. This round has crumbled. It looked like they had the right read, the right play. On them, unless Kraven can make this work. He needs to get out of here alive. Okay, a 1v2.
Managed to deny the plant for the moment, but it will go down for Bang. This has been his round. That TP stuck was a gamble, but it was a gamble that saved them from certain demise. And now for Kraven. Ability. All on the other side of the map. Nothing to play with. They will peek him together to make sure that a nice attempt, but it is 100 Thieves, and more importantly, Bang, that takes them home around.
Yeah, I've been a big fan of the pacing of 100 Thieves. A lot of the time, the utility from Bang has been absolutely perfect. But this was something else entirely. Just so pigeonholed in on that one position. They go towards C. C players there, they've got utility ready and lined up, they're throwing in hot hands, but all 4 of these players are only worried about the front, and it is that one small, tiny little detail of the Omen TP that takes them a second too long to piece together.
How's you?
But still big from Bang to hit those shots as well. Hunter's Fury searching for Loida, run it back used by Asuna. Kraven might be tagged a little bit, trading out the run it backs, but they will indeed keep Asuna away from Kraven still hasn't been detected in the corner.
Oh boy.
Sinks deep, but they respond.
Yeah, I think Tarantino is actually quick enough to get his teammate.
Twitch पे कर बे quality अच्छा है.
That corner. And then the Molotov just forces an awkward
नहीं देख मेरा देख Twitch पे कर देख रहा हूँ मैं.
Much tighter map than what we saw in the last the back and forth, leaving us level once again and the trade outs of those run it backs.
क्या expect कर रहा था भाई?
Meaning that there's not going to be a massive amount to play with going into the next round. I was very worried that for 100 Thieves this might just be the mental break, but instead, after that back and forth continues, going to be a pause now taken for BBL. Of course, both teams desperate to go into that second half with the advantage, not wanting the pistol. to potentially be a defining factor in this map. And
अबे दिक्कत ये है कि Sentinel का जो fan base है वो
after having
थोड़ा
a good
toxic
streak
है.
of rounds, you can understand why
उसने भी छोड़ दिया.
after a couple of blips their coach wants to get involved.
But yeah, I think especially that one, like I said, it's one of those moments where your attention is elsewhere. Your full focus is on those two players swinging. He was on the spike that just fell to the floor. You know, at that point, you probably imagine there's 2 or 3 more guys about to come swinging around that corner, getting ready for it.
You think Baba क्या ही zoom करते हैं लोग?
And you miss a small detail. In moments like this, that can cost you a map, and it can cost you a series.
2-1 expected था,
game is close as this.
1-sided हो गया. 2-1 expect ही नहीं कर सकते.
Very well might. Maybe I'll take that timeout with 2 rounds left to play for in this half.
Technical pause.
Technical pause.
Certainly coming in better armed. But in terms of ultimates, miles away from the important ones. I think there's a good chance we don't even get to see Asuna's run it back.
एक सेकंड रुकना.
Still see that aggression from BBL. I think they'll go back to winning ways because the disruption from 100 Thieves in that round, the only thing that saved them was that from the shadows. If Bang even just gets 1 there, the round's over.
Yeah, that's true. Although the next round, a little bit more chaos.
क्या पता वो इसके साइड से होगा रे. प्लेयर के साइड से नहीं होगा.
There was a lot of chaos. There was players missing corners. There was bits that you could look at as mistakes, but then you go, okay, 100 Thieves come out of it alive. And I think that was where you look back to the last map.
अरे प्लेयर में नहीं होगा रे.
The second chaos ensued. That was where
उनके साइड से होगा.
BBL just ran away with it. So the fact they're able to weather the storm a little bit more in this map at least fills me with some confidence. I think that TP is a great example of it. That is Bang adapting to the chaos that has been BBL side.
5-5.
And that is why I've maybe seen BBL put on the back foot a little bit here.
भाई आज पेपर एक्स और भाई VIT versus ये देखने में बहुत मजा आएगा यार.
And also LaRock,
crazy matchup है वो.
For his standards, is now having a quieter map. The last one he was untouchable, unstoppable, and now I think he's being matched.
Well, indeed, for 100 Thieves.
To be blue ball.
That previous map.
अच्छा नहीं लगी यार blue ball.
It was definitely a blow. 13 rounds in a row. And going 2-0 down in this one. It did start to wonder, is this team crumbling? Map pick previously as well. It's rare to see the blowout like that.
Oh, भाई उसको.
Oh, look at that.
उसकी बंदी को ये कर रहा है भाई.
So they're half back home. Well,
मैं भी ऐसे करता but मैं ना वहाँ पे जा सकता हूँ ना मेरी बंदी है.
It's been an interesting series so far. I think the one thing though, for me, looking at BBL, is the aggression, is how it gets tempered.
अच्छा headphone का scene हो गया लगता है.
This is a young roster, and you can get away with this.
Voice comms नहीं जा रहे भाई.
We've seen it in the old days with like your G2 roster back in 2021, where they used to play an insanely aggressive style. They played loose with much less structure than we have nowadays. But nobody punished them. For like a year, they got away with it. They would take fights they shouldn't. They would push when they had advantages. And every time they'd find success, we always said one day people will figure this out. One day teams will just have the fundamentals, the structure there to then make the adaptations to punish every mistake you're making. And when that day comes, you'll fade into irrelevance. Most of those players don't play anymore. So it kind of shows you where we're at in that world. And I view it as a similarity with BBL right now. In that you can play like this, that all-out aggression. But Turkey themselves had to adapt. They used to be that. They used to be your, not even G2 clone. They were a more aggressive version of that old G2 roster. They played so aggressive in every single fight. It was a 5v1. They'll push you one by one because every single player on that roster believes that not only can he beat you, that he will beat you 9 out of 10 times. If not, I think they believe 10 out of 10 times. And then they go, oh, I guess it was lag, latency, something like that. The mouse let me down. So for BBL, yeah, it works for now. But if 100 Thieves can crack that code here today, and it's going to be one day, someone's going to figure it out. Someone's going to have that response, and we'll need to see that extra layer too. Oh, that one doesn't want to
play. I like that. I like the fact that LaRock is trying to play with anybody that he can. He's clearly not feeling the pressure whatsoever. Oh, he's now playing with Mitch.
Hey, yaar. एक और बार. Stone, paper, scissors. Hey, मैं जीत गया. Yes.
He got me.
You've taken a massive L.
Over in London, I was doing well. I was slaying people with it.
I did my scissors
Hello,
rock
bang
method.
headphones
against the best in the
I shouldn't
world.
say that now. People know
Not
my
against
method.
the best in the world.
No, not against the best. That's it. He's proven it there in the States.
मैं deserving
He's got the
अभी
दूसरे
की बारी भाई.
I am deserving.
He could beat you in the rock paper scissors as well, but
वापस से कोई करना चाहता है डर गए यार उसके बाकी के प्लेयर डर गए.
there's a slightly bigger game
जीत गए आप
at hand.
आपको ही ना मिला.
And I am looking forward to the conclusion because of course it is
देख
the
Venom
talk
मेरे
of the
लिए
town of who's
बस
going to
love
be
ले
making
ले.
into that
ठीक है और तेरे
playoff
को
stage
दोनों
first.
ले ले. Love और Day तू रख.
Of course, we know. I believe now
मैं
at this
आधा
point we
रखता
know
हूँ
that
तो
it's
पूरा
going to be
रख
a EDG on that bounce back
भाई और कुछ चेक करना है वो भी कर
after
दो भाई.
defeating RRQ in the elimination game earlier on over on the B stream. So ultimately, that this team,
जल्दी करो यार.
one of them goes through, gets to go straight into the playoffs.
इससे अच्छा मैं पावर मार के आता
but
but
and play EDG, which yeah, I don't know if that's something anybody would really want.
For 100 Thieves, you come up against
मेरी
EDG
जिंदगी
there.
में
You know,
love
I
और
believe they've got a
Day
chance, for sure.
है
Could
ही
be
नहीं
definitely be a
सिर्फ
fun game to watch. But facing EDG in the lower bracket, that's not
सबकी
somewhere I
जिंदगी
want to
में
be.
लगे
And then for
पड़े भाई,
BBL
सबकी
facing
जिंदगी में
EDG in the
लगे
lower
पड़े.
bracket in a
बस
rematch,
yeah,
that's definitely not putting a nice taste in my mouth.
सबका ऐसा है कि
I don't think anyone wants to be down there, and I think for most people,
सब सेम ही करते
maybe
हैं.
with full roster, EDG should be running through that upper bracket run. So for 100 Thieves, for BBL, this matchup, yeah, we've got a second chance, but that second chance is
Please UPI
a
कर
chance
दो
to
guys.
outswim a shark.
Donate कर दो पैसे.
इसके लिए
It looks like we're getting fist bumps down
मेरे
to the
लिए
stage.
और
Folks,
तू
we
कर
might
मेरे
be
को भी
ready
कर
to
भाई
roll.
मेरे को भी हेडफोन
UPI
लेना
करो.
बोले भाई धो दिया
And indeed, we are already underway. 135 on the clock and aggression.
अरे भाई गया हमारा
Aggressive इतना गंदा
वाह यार
Rose the second layer to him.
भाई साहब गया.
He's dead to rights.
नहीं.
He's taken full health bar from the hot hands. Oh, that's a devastating way to kick this one off. They're in a
भाई
fine
ये करके
B2.
सी गए ना जीजी हो गया.
a
ये
little bit
करके
of
सी
karma,
जाएंगे
baby.
और एक भाग गया पीछे.
Given the
नहीं,
game
नहीं,
away
इधर
with
ही
how
है.
aggressive you're going to be, that your opponents are starting to just throw utility into smokes.
स्ट्रीमर को एक्सेस मिला
But
कैसे?
either way,
गोट.
looking like they might continue in
भाई
towards the
टाइमिंग देखना
remaining
पड़ेगा
setup.
इसमें
एक सेकंड रुक.
Brevin and Loiter.
मैंने हेडफोन
This would
निकाल
have
लिए.
to be an impressive
अरे
hold.
भाई
The drone already going through. Likely to give the game away, and already Kreven distracted, leaves Loiter alone. They could just leave and go back the other way, but they want to send this man into the dirt. And he's having none of it. Running out of the site, the round all but concluded. And 100 Thieves will take back the lead.
Well, disgraceful you don't believe in the Loida 1v5 Ninja Defuse.
I do not.
Yeah, he was just getting the weapon for the Ninja Defuse. Now he thought it was planted on C. It's a little mistake. He'll figure it out.
अरे भाई
But obviously saving this weapon through to the next with the state of the economy.
अरे भाई timing.
Very close.
अरे भाई
On him. This should be it. Lloyd is going to run for the hills, and he has no chance of escape. Asuna right behind him for the flawless round in 100 Thieves camp. That's got to feel good. What a bounce back.
Yeah, and it has been a constant back and forth throughout this map so far. Of course, the pistol taken home by the IGL, but this is the fact that you
वो बोल रहे थे कि ट्रैप भाई अगर आप नहीं आ रहे हो तो हम जोकर स्नैक्स
अभी ये कौन सा ट्रिपर लगा रहा है
नहीं देंगे एक्सेस तो आप आ जाओ. तो स्नैक्स मेरे को रिक्वेस्ट कर रहा था कि भाई आप आ जाओ.
down both Lovers Rock and Rose.
ट्रिप देखा तूने?
In the first few seconds of the round, felt like a domino effect. The buy that's coming up here is maybe
अरे
not
देख
the
लिया कब का
greatest, but it is still going to be rifles across the board. And again, 100 Thieves are in the right place at the right time.
तेरे से पहले देख लिया भाई.
For those players into middle.
अरे भाई
भाई दो ले दिया.
Found a kill back. He's denied the ultimate and is still going. Finally, they managed to deal with him, but it is just back and forth all over the shop.
ऐसा
TP
सी
taken to the A
पहले से
side
ही है
steps.
भाई ये लोग.
Close as Rose is already at the
अबे नहीं.
gates. He's closing the distance. He's right on the site. He slipped past. They have no idea. The paranoid is nothing.
क्या निकाला बे
To
राउंड.
see the last to mark him. Marked for death is Cryo.
Crazy भाई
Rose
crazy.
single-handedly solving the problem that was that 2v2 and putting us neck and neck at the halftime.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. That is him winning the first round and the last round of the half.
3K in the first, yeah.
And then doing not a lot in between. We finished 7 and 7, so that's 5 kills.
Oh, it was a 3K and a 2K.
Rounds, and then for the rest of the entirety of the half. But hey, if you could win your team 2 rounds as an IGL, I don't think that's too bad. And of course, will leave us level. I think ultimately you're going to look at this and go, you win the pistol and it ends up 6-6. It's not the greatest of halves for BBL. I think a good recovery from 100 Thieves, especially when you see that 3-round streak coming in. You might start to get a little bit nervous, but I think they've done well where they utilize their pauses. Both sides keeping this one close. And of course, you go back to map number 1 and OT defeat on their own map choice for BBL.
भाई क्या ही RNG कर दे वे लोग.
Unfortunately, won't be saying the
same. सब लोग क्या कर रहे थे उसको?
Really struggled.
अरे भाई.
But I'm glad to see that hasn't boomed them. They are back in this map.
Bye bye. Thank you so much for joining. आया था तो like कर दे यार.
The victory will take them through to the playoffs, which when you think back to last year, BBL with a completely different squad did make it.
भाई वो वाला तो बहुत crazy scene था भाई Cypher वाला.
It would be new heights for them at EWC.
वो Cypher को किसने detect ही नहीं करा था ना? C पे.
Yeah, I think the main one.
Thank you.
In BBL's camp, just the fact that this is a roster that after those changes come out to the Yoru, we see them fade a little bit, right? They have to take time to adapt, but they don't have time going from an international to a regional event. The meta shifts multiple times, and playing keep up, playing catch up is more so the issue. They can prove that they're still a team that can make those deep international runs with just one map here. It'd already be solidifying themselves amongst the upper echelon for what wouldn't be the first time this year. That's when you call it proof as opposed to circumstance. We certainly know they're capable, but after that second map, gotta be honest, I thought it was a definite. I thought they were a shoe-in to take this across the line, but 100 Thieves have dug deep. Timotino's been very impressive as well today. I think especially on Lotus, like his raise there was fantastic. Or sorry, the Waylay was fantastic there. Raise on the previous. And now here on the Neon, finding that impact again. But Kraven last 2 maps for BBL has stepped up. He's been such an important sentinel in terms of staying alive, but now putting up that impact as well. As Sheriff is starting to sing. Although here, he has got the bandit for the pistol.
वो देखिए एक C पे लर्क कर रहा है, बाकी पूरी टीम A पर है.
Patient start from the side of BBL, maybe expecting some aggression on the other side as well. Of course, you do have that double duelist in tow, but it's Timotino who's gone walking out. But that's more of the bait. There's a second player up close, but he's been caught by the cam. Good spot. But they're not done fighting this just yet, continuing that brawl towards the A side, maybe trying to force them back into the utility.
Yeah, this is all just a ruse towards that A site, right? Sending the drone out towards long. The cam's been checking the entire time. They want to take any early information, any silent alarms that could start ringing out of the hands of 100 Thieves, so they don't know that there's no one on A long. They don't know there's no one close on A short. And as a result, they don't rotate to the other side of the map. Which means that all alone is going to be Cry. Although actually support coming through. Bangs on the quick rotation. Run through the smoke so quickly. And Bangs down 2. A shock dart kills come in. And all of a sudden, Roy is the last man standing. It looked like BBL had managed to strike with a surprise. But 100 Thieves and especially Bang looked more than ready for that play.
Andy.
It then becomes an impossible clutch. Not enough time to do anything, and another high-impact round from Bang. A triple kill over on that C site. And honestly, it's looking like his site at the moment after the TP play we saw earlier. Now holding on that side of the map. But even just the way he danced around his own utility had that additional support as well. And an important victory to grant them the lead.
And I think for Bang, what's important to highlight is like, this guy's been in a position where he's had a lot of impact so far, down from the utility, from the survivability and keeping the smokes online, but mainly those paranoias have been on fire. They got 100 Thieves. Some, I think, 2 or 3 rounds that they found on split were because of entries that came off the back of that paranoia, perfectly timed, perfectly positioned. But now he's starting to have big individual rounds as well, at the top of the scoreboard for 100 Thieves at the moment.
वो भी same time पे ही है ना 7:30.
From the shadows, success, no doubt, giving him a little bit more confidence. Peppering those players from behind. It looks like we might have another small break in the action. Hopefully nothing to keep it too long.
वापस से tech pause
Let's
आ
see if I
गए.
can get a rematch. I'm confident this time, to be honest. I think the strategy is to start with paper. He started scissors last time, so he'll change. Always.
Right.
Very embarrassing if I'm wrong, but hey, no time for that.
It was already embarrassing.
We'll get the game in off camera, off stage, so I can say I won no matter what.
Well, you could have done that anyway, but you know.
That's true, actually. They didn't
just
see
no
it,
one would have believed you.
Yeah. He was asking me what I picked as well, so I could have just lied. Like, they'd be like, oh, yeah, I picked scissors, mate. Unlucky.
Yeah, but that would have kept you up at night.
It would have. Yeah. I need to win fair and
वो
square.
cam देगा कहाँ पे लगा रहा है
I'll
बस
figure
info
him
लेने के
out.
लिए.
Well, let's see if 100 Thieves can figure them out. As right now the lead is already found and a chance to extend it even further up against the Pistols. But this is where BBL do some of their finest, and by that I mean stress-inducing work.
Ole bhai. Gaya.
The Pistols, it's only 2 bandits to work with. Majority classics. And Loida has ripped Asana's head off. I believe he was blind also.
Oh. Giving them an opener.
And a weapon.
भाई गन उठाने के लिए उसने स्मोक दिया वहाँ पे.
3 players will be on this A side of the map, but it seems like
Neon को दे दिया अभी GG हो गया इनका.
BBL want absolutely nothing to do with it, and a lot of this is just being covered off by utility.
Go, go.
Already spamming a couple of bullets towards the dart, trying to hold players to that side of the map. And it has done exactly that, but now they need to get running. They need to get moving. Cryo's here completely alone. Bear in mind that Spectre has been put into the Neon's hand. A good trip.
Oh my god!
But it's an immediate trade back. Solid work from Larocque. The plant being baited to try and get somebody to try and swing if they were close. Instead, though,
Phoenix damage
do quite a lot of damage, in fact, to Larocque, but he still stands.
Plan found for Larocque as well, 2 away from a run it back, and this is an all-out aggression from the attacking side. Going straight into the spawn. Back in return is at least one moment of reprieve for this squad. Lover's Rock. Some of the kill feed says Bang killed him after he died, which is, it must have been instantaneous. But what a play from BBL to come into that round having as little as they did, 2 bandits, find the opening. And again, I'm pretty sure Larocque was flashed when he found that opening. Or was it Loida? Loida, yeah, I'm pretty sure he was blind. That's crazy. Eats the flash and just pops the headshot. Anyways, fair enough.
And that Spectre is what ends up closing the round as well. So that is a bitter defeat for 100 Thieves. They get the start they were looking for, but it really does feel like nothing is separating these 2 teams.
भाई सी पूरा छोड़ दिया उसने.
छोड़ ही देगा भाई वो.
Massive injection of cash. You look at the investment into rifles for the side of
retake करेंगे ना वो लोग. उनका यही नहीं है.
Rock, there's going to have the outlaw, which, to be honest, would have been his weapon of choice. I like this push-up, though, from Latino, but unfortunately the trip is going to be in his way. No sneaky play to be had. Hoping maybe there was a way under it, but he's too tall for that.
Another for Lloyd, that walk out of the smoke almost got a
lot
of damage. Nothing to convert into kills. The problem with having the pistols, of course, and the rest of the squad now just going to sit back and wait.
लोग बैठेंगे और फिर बाद में जाके जब
and avoid giving any
फटेगा
orbs
तब
away.
वो करेंगे.
When you look at the orb play for BBL already, the ultimate economy, the main man who would want those already has them. Larocque would run it back for the next round, the full buy of 100 Thieves. And especially on the attack side, well, obviously on the defense, in terms of playing the retake, it's going to have a lot of value. So for Asuna coming into the next round, if they can find an orb, if he finds a pick, that's going to be huge. But Larocque can get them in. And the problem is, Larocque could probably just run it aside anyways, and I'll give him a pretty good chance of taking it. If he's has the opportunity to go at it twice, it's a different story altogether.
But that's what he was doing on the last map, on the Rays. He was just dropping down off high angles, and then while landing, having enough time to correct and insta-headshot people. Like, his performance in the last map was phenomenal. And yeah, he's been a little bit quieter in this one, but with Loiter stepping up, Kreven up there as well, they are now in the lead. Now, the investment into the Odin is a new piece for them to deal with. But it seems like they found their gap. They found the place where they want to put the pressure on, and that is the C side.
The response from 100 Thieves is mid-control. The Odin spam is just to break that window wall and maybe do a little bit of damage. But nobody's there. BBL are playing a very direct game straight into this C site, but already the rotates are there. 100 Thieves have to read, and that hot hands hasn't reached fully into that. Run it back now. Online, Larocque already tagged down to 46. The flash, though, might get him an opening. Never mind.
Oh my god.
Rose and Lovers Rock down. They might think about leaving this site, running for the hills, and that's exactly the protocol. Problem is, the cam saw them. And Loida gets spammed to death, leaving Rock to do it all. A 1v5. Hey, listen, I said second lease of life. This guy would be dangerous, but not against these odds.
Yeah, fantastic hold. The initial delay, the catch of the flank immediately, and then just the pace at which we saw that rotation come in from 100 Thieves. Even though they left one man alone on that side, they felt incredibly ready to make that move back in. Look at the time they actually pushed the backside. There's already about 4 players ready and waiting for BBL to try and make that move. Even still, it's another investment, but really does feel like this is going to go all the way. Neither team really able to find a steady footing just yet.
Oh भाई कहाँ गए ये? ओमन कहाँ गया? अच्छा cancel कर दिया.
Oh, Timotino has taken a lot of space. And hearing a lot of steps. The rotations are already coming towards this A site from 100 Thieves. It's Timotino. They shouldn't expect him this early to be tucked in that corner, but they've seen him.
Oh, no.
Spotted the edge of him, but unfortunately couldn't land the shot. And so BBL now, having lost all that space in mid, just commit to the A site. You know the rotates have probably happened. You have to kind of re-clear that mid space so they don't have an immediate flank on you. And with no information towards the C side either, BBL are playing this round blind because of how this round started.
Still, now they've been spotted. They've been seen around that middle area, but it does seem like 100 Thieves are playing into the retake this time. You have the run it back available to you. Maybe hoping for a kill off the back of the trip. Instead, he goes walking out. I'm surprised by that. It looked like a retake setup instead. Damage being done onto the ult, but even still, be careful.
Gift feature,
Still held. Timotino, the first to make a move. Incredible shot, not consistent scenario. An easy clean up for 100 Thieves, and maybe a Campbell or two taken by Cryo. I was surprised by that swing, but even still disrupting the take of BBL, and now taking the lead back for themselves.
I was looking at the minimap when he opened cam. Did you see if he saw them on site? Because I'm guessing he just
think so.
I
thought you saw them in the cam.
That's unhinged then. Is if he missed them, if they were behind the box, then that makes sense. You know, you just think, oh, I can get out on the site a little quicker before they get in. But I guess he did look like he was ready to take the fight. Swung out with intentions and, well, can't knock him for trying. A round win found nonetheless. 100 Thieves with the
battle बत्तीस भाई क्या बोलते
for BBL.
क्या gameplay मजबूत चल रहा है भाई.
Could shape up okay depending on how this goes.
निकाल दिया भाई इन्होंने chat से.
Grab a plant out of this situation. It won't be the end of the world.
ये अगर हारे तो भाई GG है. ये अगर हारे तो GG
है. They have plenty of credits. They can keep rebuying. They also have ultimates that are coming online. The Hunter's Fury, especially for Vora.
देखा साले समोसा खा तू.
The lead under their belt. A little bit more momentum.
भेजा तो सही.
Across this line.
आया तो send samosa for तुझे.
Moves at the wrong time.
ये क्या हवा चल रही है
भैंस? Instead, they're going to try and catch him.
समोसा आया चैट, समोसा खा लो.
ओ भाई ये क्या ओडिन चला रहा है?
Pinged up is going to make it.
ओ भाई!
Aster again.
Asuna.
This is looking like a complete shutdown, and now they're almost tempted to get aggressive to clear out those remaining couple. Rifle retrieve for Loiter. It's the deadly duo.
GG भाई GG. 100 Thieves जीत गई भाई. आराम से 100
Thieves seems impossible. They are boxed in.
GG हो गया. ये देख.
Yep. And now they know it. Timotino striking from behind with the operator puts it down to just Larocque with 4 players on the way.
मेरे को फील आ रहा है BBL जीतने वाली है.
अबे देख. अबे इसके बाद उनका सेव राउंड है कोई उनका. ओ भाई.
Asuna takes him down for double digits out of 100 Thieves, and they do it
Time
in
issue हो रहा है.
fashion.
हो रहा है. टाइम इशू क्या है? सिर्फ एक ही 2 ही घंटा निकालना है बस.
And for BBL,
after a close, incredibly close first map.
1.5 घंटा निकाला फिर भी चलेगा, वो भी मैच पे डिपेंड है.
Dominant second in their favor.
भाई वो क्या निकल के मारा है भाई फिनिक्स.
The very last moment.
ये आपने ये ड्रैगो ये ट्रैप अपने को तीनों का स्ट्रीम डाउनलोड करके एडिट करके देगा.
टपली दूंगा एक डाउनलोड करके एडिट करके देगा साले.
For BBL.
तेरे को मैं समोसा खिलाऊंगा, मेरे चैट में आ जाना.
और मैं अलग से समोसा दूंगा.
मेरा समोसा ले ले साले.
ये कौन सी की बोल रहा है बता, इसमें किधर है? ये कौन सी की बात कर रहा है पता नहीं. ट्रैप
कौन सा की?
अबे इसको पता ना, वो की तोड़ते हैं लोग, उनका स्मैश करते हैं जीतने वाली टीम सामने.
के बाद ना
वो जो चैंपियन
जो टीम हार जाती है ना, नहीं पूरा अभी भी होगा. अभी टीम जो एकदम हार जाएगी ना, उसका की तोड़ देंगे लोग.
वही तो मैं बोल रहा हूँ.
अभी थोड़े रह गया, अभी ग्रुप स्टेज है ना.
नहीं जैसा ये नीले वाला है ना, ऐसा ही की रहता है गोल्डन कलर का रहता है. वो पूरा क्रश कर देते. अबे उसके टाइम लास्ट ईयर रो दिए थे जब उन लोग का क्रश हो रहा था.
और तू अपनी ट्रॉफी के नीचे रख सकता है भाई जो टीम जीतती है ना.
तो ये टीम टीएच वही डिफेंड कर रही है, अपना टाइटल डिफेंड कर रही है. लास्ट ईयर वही जीती थी
भाई. हेरिटेक्स और
भाई उधर क्या डाल रहे हैं उधर.
अबे हेरिटेज वर्सेस
फैनेटिक उधर वोटिंग चला रहे उधर से.
हेरिटेज वर्सेस फैनेटिक लास्ट ईयर हुआ. फैनेटिक एकदम
ओए भाई क्या वोटिंग चला रहा है.
हेरिटेज ने जो कमबैक किया था ना भाई लास्ट ईयर, मजा आ गया था
भाई. हो गया.
done his work, but there is much more to be done.
वो इन्होंने फोर्स करा था
for now, or perhaps the full-on retreat, leaving the A site, making their way.
ना भाई नियॉन साला कहीं पे भी पहुंच जाता है.
Okay, into the window. I think they were saying be careful of the C push, and that's a good thing because now look at where Timotino is. The operators waiting on C, watching for Garage, watching for C.
B चले गए तो जीत सकते राउंड.
But the B side, the easier fight.
इसके बाद अपने को भी रैंक पुश करना है.
He's actually stepped away.
I am the hunter.
अबे ये बोल रहा है कि ये PRX का मैच देखना है इसको.
He's trying to get him. He's caught Loiter's third kill of the round already. Rose will get his own ultimate online from this plant, but it's finding a position.
भाई वो reposition नहीं कर पाया तो हो गया GG है.
That's going to be far more of a problem. In fact, I think he's just going to have to commit to playing the site alongside his teammate. LaRock at the back. That's Bang spotted, but the other two are still
blind में गया.
Have to be aware of the spam shots, but not quite the kill. A nice first shot, but he's so
भाई देखा कमबैक.
भाई
ब्रो ये BBL यही करती है भाई.
भाई क्या टाइमिंग था भाई.
A fantastic clutch from a man on 5 HP.
क्या मारा है भैंस की.
Held in much higher regard than him. That is something else. It was an even trade situation to start this out, but it looked like the work was done. The game was over.
10-7 score
just like
energy
that.
vitality.
I didn't believe for a second. Not 1 second.
Rose is so crazy. Yes, of course.
भाई उनके पास अभी भी बाय नहीं है वैसे. हाफ बाय उनका.
Somehow Rose has managed to land the shots.
एक राउंड अगर ये राउंड हार गए ना तो हार गए.
That trend.
अरे भाई खाया.
And still nobody has broken that trend. It took a 1 versus 3.
अबे क्या बचा है
भाई. 4 लोग देख रहे हो, फटाफट लाइक करो लाड लो.
ऑटो करेक्ट हो रहा है तेरा लॉल. मोबाइल से बात कर दी रहेगी इसलिए.
कौन है
अरे भाई क्या ही घुसा है अंदर.
भाई उसने कितना इन्फो लिया है.
हो गया लॉल.
उसने बहुत ज्यादा इन्फो लिया है फिनिक्स लेके.
And BBL have plenty of their own in response to Hunter's Fury that had a lot of impact for 100 Thieves in the previous round. Now online for Rose thanks to his big clutch. The finger guns there.
NRG का मैच चालू हो गया. 11-7 हो रहा है.
अरे भाई गया ये.
NRG का मैच चालू हो गया.
खत्म भी होने वाला है पहला मैच.
कौन जीत रहा है? वाइटलिटी या
NRG? A lot of time. He's able to slip out. He's made it to long. He should have been.
अरे भाई.
That paranoia also helped.
क्या मारा है?
Bang slow them down. Walking on the other side.
अबे भाई साहब.
Spike now going back towards A. An aggressive push coming in, but the lurk of Kreven has been dealt with. Leaves things back into a 3v3
Guys,
scenario.
लोग
Now
देख
they
रहे हो,
know
फटाफट लाइक कर दो,
क्या लगता है क्या लगता है जल्दी बताओ।
the aggressive
अबे
head
हक दिया
but Rose has been dealt with immediately.
नहीं रे वही 100 टीवी जीतेगी शायद ये वाला राउंड तो।
ऑपरेटर है भाई अभी
needed for BBL.
देखा यार।
अरे जल्दी डाल भाई, सामने आ जाएगा तब डालेगा।
2v2 लेट्स गो। BBL कर सकती है शायद।
ये पीछे चल रहा है क्या ये ड्रैगो
they're split as well, they're coming from different sides, time is against them now, ticking ever quicker.
ओ मां की
just LaRock left to deal with.
मैं पीछे था, सॉरी मैंने क्लिक करना भूल गया। नौ लोग देख रहे हो भाई, फटाफट लाइक कर दो और बताओ कौन जीतेगा।
भाई उसकी मॉली अटक गई, उसकी मॉली अटक गई। वो प्लांट में मॉली डालने वाला था ताकि डिफ्यूज ना हो।
Towards the end of the round.
Just reconnect, disconnect.
Bear in mind that only a singular player survived in the last round. They were having to utilize guardians, etc. And with advantages found in this round, they weren't able to capitalize. Even the shots connected, it was just timing of that push through the smoke. And you can see what they've had. Running back and a rifle, everybody else will be down to the pistols.
Save round है.
To have a lights out round.
सीधा match point है भाई.
This, if ever, is his moment. All eyes on the Rock. The Phoenix with the ult online.
भाग DK bowl.
They've actually managed to send Timotino backwards on 40 HP.
भाग दिया। ओ भाई क्या किस्मत है उसकी, मर गया वो।
ओले भाई क्या टाइमिंग है। ओ खाया। ओ भाई।
अरे भाई
यार मेरा रिलोड बफर हो गया।
भाई 1 HP था वो।
हो गया 150
नहीं टाइम है।
Run it back, leading the charge with the up shots missed with the damage onto Timotino, ends up as a flawless.
They are set up and ready to close out this map. The third and final in the series. They've had to fight tooth and nail to claw their way through their maps with.
भाई उसमें साइफर मर गया ना, उसमें जीजी हो गया।
However, if they make it into that playoff stage, they're going to give a damn how they got
Phoenix
there.
मारना था, साइफर मर गया।
Having that extra preparation time for
ओडिन चला रहा है।
BBL.
बेटा ने काम करा।
Having to try and fight versus EDG again. It's a faster pace, but Cryo again living.
मिल गई साइड में।
ओले भाई।
Push up from Bang.
भाई क्या टाइमिंग है ये, क्या टाइमिंग है।
Another victim leaves.
Omen आया।
Another disadvantage TP to the other side of the map with the spike, in fact, from Loiter. Mates are nowhere to be seen. They're waiting for the rotations to be pulled.
Okay, ये लोग C पे अभी इसे
I'd be able to get a plant that, I don't know, I feel like it would leave me confused. And I can see everything that's going on.
Oh, Omen वहाँ पे गया है।
He has no idea if there's a player close to him and having you plan to kill you, nobody can stop the defuse. Have to wait for the rest of the team, but
plan करता तो GG हो जाता।
And they don't know if short or long could. They have to take their time. But now 100 Thieves start to realize they're not going to keep 3 players outside C. They're going to push. They're going to go through mid. Eventually, you're going to have Asuna check C long. No one's there. And all the pieces start to add up and starts to make sense. 30 seconds on the clock.
Oh,
as soon as they're spotted here, there's going to be a player on their back immediately. BBL should expect that. No noise across the map. Somebody contacting somewhere. But can they expect them to be this close? Bang. Waiting for it. In fact, there's the power line. Now the swing comes through.
Oh boy!
From Timotino.
नहीं
same angle. A spray down could solve this. Rose showed him it was possible, but not this time. 100 Thieves, 13-9, with a bounce back from the desolation of Split.
भाई साहब क्या ही खेला है भाई।
Their flag in playoffs.
Last year at EWC, they were placed into the group of death. Of course, a lot has changed since then. New players, new blood. I think Timotino has definitely been one of the most exciting to add into this roster. But the changes of coaching staff as well have brought them to a place they've not made it to before. the playoff stage is theirs.
Allah. गई भाई गई.
Energy versus vitality देख लेते हैं वैसे.
Congratulations. Congratulations. ओए तुम लोग देख रहे हो क्या? और मैं जा रहा हूँ.
अब खेलने चलते यार थोड़ी देर में.
क्या क्या?
अब बंद कर रहा हूँ थोड़ी देर में लाइव आऊँगा. वेलो खेलेंगे.
So quick to know that Brock was in wine.
ये बस हो जाए लोग का.
Is down now. Wine. It's going to be so much harder to recover. Chronicle has no idea.
मैं भी आएगा थोड़े टाइम
But
में.
actually, Scuba making noise.
ट्रैप जो स्ट्रीम करने वाला है?
Heard that Scuba is
नहीं
even
शायद से मैं ये
properly.
vitality का एक मैच रख के भाग रहा हूँ.
कंटिन्यू कर तू अभी.
नहीं रे कंटिन्यू नहीं करता मैं.
ये vitality का एक मैच देखो और फिर भाग
Flanking as well, by the way.
नहीं मैं जा रहा हूँ.
It'll be contact
मेरे को
on
चाय
both
भी
sides
पीना
of
है.
A.
हाँ मैं तो देख रहा
Over
हूँ
in heaven.
और फिर जा रहा हूँ.
Over in Gelato as well.
चल
All
फिर.
these players are so close.
Oh
to
my
that
god! Oh my god!
Kill for Chronicle. And he's being patient about it. Really marinating that one for as long as he can. And now Kiko understands how dire the situation is. He'll probably just back on out. This is an expensive gun you don't want to give away.
Yeah, they can still buy next round. If they keep this operator online, they get to keep it without
चलो
having
guys,
to force
GG.
5
भाई
rifles
vitality ने
inside. Some
comeback कर
really
लिया
good
ओए.
saves, but also that round by vitality.
अच्छा
I
है,
mean,
करने दो.
2v3 Brock struggling. Energy was so split up. They were so scared of
मैंने
that ice
ENC
wall
का
on
भी
Cat
form
popping
fill
and
कर
giving
दिया.
away the positioning of Kiko, but it didn't
ENC
matter.
का.
Nice
Esports
nuclear
नेशनल कप का
by
जिसमें
Chronicle.
टीम इंडिया वैलोरेंट की
Really
तरफ से
big
गई
round
है.
turner
बट
here.
वो
And all of a
नवंबर
sudden,
में.
NRG, they've just taken that time
group
out as
stage.
well. That
मेरे को link
last
भेज
round, they're
दियो.
going to be struggling to find answers here.
भेजता हूँ मैं.
Coming down to that 2v3.
चल,
2 ults
बंद कर
online
रहा हूँ
though.
अब.
Sayonara with the run it
bye,
back.
bye.
He's on that cat. Might try to do something a little bit aggressive. And Durka back on this B main.
I mean, one more round and NRG's going to be full broke here. Kiko at least will shut down the runner back quick and easy as the rest of the players start to find their way on towards B. 3 members from Vitality here to receive, and Durka all the way in boat. Speaking of that, Chronicle will be the first up. Durka doubles for Ethan. It's only Kiko that will get something against Yampi here to keep things so competitive. So 4 alive though as the Steel Garden comes on through. But at this point in time, NRG got to peel away from B, at least for the time being.
4v3 shutting down that retake, but it just wasn't enough because 2 of these players on site just doing such a good job here for Vitality, holding, playing passive, not overextending, not over peeking, just getting theirs and delaying long enough for Yampi and Sayonara to be able to be on that B site. But Profek, he's alone on A here. Needs to play it a little bit safe. I think he's in hell. Kiko trying to find one, trying to find a rotation pick at least so that they can equalize numbers.
There's a shot. Kiko on the Durka.
30 seconds
Will
left.
at least bring numbers back a little bit, but have to start thinking about the speed up now as Kiko will move through mid, join his teammates potentially mid to A here. Smoke to slow things down. One smoke available on Scuba as well. That's all the util they really have. Still have time to play through this one, and now the
no time,
because
no time,
Vitality knows what is happening here. Playing around the generator. Profit needs to find something. Sayonara coming down. Thought the flash was going to be good, but it's not good enough. Profit now has to do it all.
Oh,
what a kill through the smoke. And a clutch from Vitality to send them through another round, evening us up.
What a crazy clutch. They needed that. The round fell apart, even though it looked so good for Vitality. That was absolutely stunning. Here, Chronicle, Durka doing their jobs really well. Kiko with that pick. But oh my god, Profit. That was insane. And he got the final shot too. That's disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, through the smoke as well.
Crazy mara,
and that's not even a typical plant. You might often see the plant like behind the gen, looking over towards tree. Well, that spam wouldn't have really connected with anything. But he'll get it done now. Sayonara tucked away. Easy on the Kiko. Can't TP away. It's another 5v4. Vitality happy with that start.
Pushing all the way through to Tiles. Gets Mada with his back turn, but it doesn't matter. The pick comes in. Mada now still set up towards mid. The spike going towards that A. All these players, though, on NRG are split up.
Mada's trying to break his way into side here. Durka finally gets punished through. Just as Mada sees Yampi, running back is expended. Just want to end that trade 4 versus 3. With limited numbers here from Vitality, they've completely left B open. I mean, there's still a bunch of Vice util on A, but they're just going to have to play for retake on B now.
4v3. The retake potential is there. They do have that paranoia online. They have the dart ready. But 4 players for NRG, it's going to be really hard because they have all this extra util as well. The paranoia on Scuba. Spike's going to go down, using a lot of util to clear onto site. Going to figure out that no one's there.
Yep. Notably, though, drone saved. Paranoia saved by Scuba there as well. This is the round that will put us into map point. And you talked about the utility available from Vitality. Paranoias will be traded shortly here, you'd imagine. Importantly, the recon is gone as well. The smoke start to fade here. Paranoia prepped and ready. That's going to be the go button. Profek should be looking to send it through. Yampi in. First kill should be easy. Imagine with a relay bolt calls some problems. Profek again wanted to be the hero. Now Chronicle has to be for his team, and it won't be enough. Doesn't quite see Scuba. 2 is left, you'd imagine. Even if he did, the trade would have been there anyway. NRG found the open site, got the free plant, forced the full retake to come on through, and it was not successful for Vitality.
12-11. NRG 1 round away from winning Vitality's map pick. The map that they haven't had that much success on. But of course, Vitality able to bring it to an overtime here. They have the means to do so. Operator online for Durka once again. He's holding that towards mid. But NRG, 5 players outside of A.
Rocker's ult for this one as well. Excellent for a post-plant opportunity. Okay, this is going to be util just thrown on in. Ethan and Mata not wasting any time here. Yampi on to Mata. Wow, this attack is starting to fall apart just like that. A couple players already gone. Hunter's Fury now coming through from main to cause some problems. Sayonara has been taken down. Perfect finds that Sova, and we'll get a little bit more to Yampi as well. OT, here we come.
Again, these retakes have been so good from Vitality when they have the means to do so, when they're doing that flood retake every time that NRG seems to be grouped, executing as 5, it seems to always get shut down. Profek, beautiful shot, and Yampi, of course, running out through tree. Again, Profek staying alive for so long on site, just being annoying, throwing down that dark cover in the middle of site, playing hell, using the paranoia as well on the timing that his teammates are going to retake. Just such a well-played round here from Vitality, and all of a sudden, we're in overtime. From 7-0, we're in overtime.
Never tell me the odds, says Vitality. It's always good for a comeback.
Vitality में तो आधे Fnatic
के wind behind their sails. First round of the OT here. Oh, smoke comes down just in time. That's actually from Vitality. Prevents them from finding that opening kill. Drone sees 2. That's pretty massive information.
They know that trap setup is set up towards mid now. Breaking that drone, not getting the information right away. But they're walking to another trap setup on Cat.
Big flash. Ethan, though, gets a big stun in response. And Sayonara has no exit. Paranoia will flood on through. Neon back on the line. Those are the jet of Durka is there, who now eats a Paranoia from the opposite side through, so still a little bit of difficulty pushing into tree as we slow down.
Deep A main smoke here, preventing the easy retake of the A main here. Profek, he's going to see over it though. He knows no one's in there. But the players of Vitality, they're going towards this B. They're setting up where Chronicle is. The Vice wall still.
No information here from NRG at all. Rock's got 1 recon, no drone. Mata's already prepping his hot hands, understanding that if he gets executed on, he's only got a small amount of window to do anything about this. Ethan is somewhat close by, but not really close enough immediately, and now the calls come on through. All the Phoenix utility you can manage to try and slow this one down. Ethan, where are you going? He just completely walks into Chronicle, doesn't realize that he's there. Trying to hold his position, shorty in hand. The boat location is so important, but he can't cover both the angles, which means both your duelists are gone now. 3 versus 4. And an operator for the retake here as well. At least you have Scuba coming through from main. Shot available potentially. I don't think Prophet's going to really peek into that one though. We're running out of utility here as well. The setup from Prophet and Dirk is going to cause some real issues for players walking downstairs. But you start to make some real moves here on the top. Dirk wasn't expecting it, but Kiko wasn't expecting Prophet either. Who just completely stabs them in the dark. And a big celebration of Vitality as they take the lead for the first time in the map.
What a wild round. This looks so back and forth. Ethan just running into sight. Not realizing that players were already up, or at least not seeing them. And Prophet with a beautiful 3K to end that. The players, they're so excited. You can hear the yelling on stage. You can hear Yampi hyping up his teammates. And now 13-12, NRG back to the same aim, back to doing something together, a little bit on the quick side with the spam towards mid just to apply some sort of pressure, but it's not really going to pull any rotates. Vitality, 2 setups towards mid, trying to fight for that cat in mid. They got the information, they hear, they execute, and now are they going to be able to flood?
It's another fast XE coming through for NRG. They've done this one plenty of times. Fast lane gets Ethan all the way into hell for a fast plant. Doesn't even matter now that Dirk have found his way in towards the mid. If he looks for the long rotate, we'll be pushing into some trademarks, some util being left behind. See what we can get out of this Vitality full 5-on-5 retake. NRG looking to push us into another 2 rounds of OT. Paranoia prepped. Not deep enough. Brock, really important now. He's the one that needs to do a lot of work to stop these 2 players. He's already been mullied out. Sayonara diffuses his location. Dirk onto Ethan here as well. It's looking good for Vitality until NRG strike back. Kiko low HP, but it's just Sayonara available. He's flashed out. And Martin makes sure that there's not going to be a finish just yet.
Playing on side in that post plants, making sure that they're having that crossfire. Really well done. They knew not to overextend the second that they got all that information. But NRG using this time to pull out a timeout to talk about this next round. They've struggled on their defense side. They've struggled also on their attack side, but that was the first one they won in a while. It seems like for Vitality, they're going to use this time as well to just discuss how to prep for this. The adaptations for both these teams are coming through. It feels like every single round, each team is adapting, and they're always one step ahead of